5, 4, 3, 2.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it from Frazier.
Jordan to the end zone. What a catch. McIntyre touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
This broadcast is a production of the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Good evening from Thomas J. Burko Memorial Stadium here on the Montour School District campus. Tonight, the WJPA Sports Network brings you Week 2 coverage of the host Spartans and the visiting Trinity Hillers. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Gregg, along with Jack Sacco, our floor directors Nate Rigotti and Scott Donnelly here in the booth. Cam Pritz and Joey Cipoletti working the cameras for us, with Mark Edwards producing in our downtown Washington studios. Montour won its season opener at Central Valley 27-20. Trinity easily handled McGuffey last week 35-13 with the clock running the entire second half. Both teams, though, lost to Moon area, though in significantly different ways. On opening night, Trinity led Moon 13-7 with less than a minute to play, when Savrio Vandetti caught a 35-yard scoring pass from Andrew Cross, tying the game, and Evan Sankovic kicked the game-winning extra point. Last week, here at home, the Spartans trailed the Tigers 21-13 at intermission, but were shut out in the second half, falling 41-15 to their to their next-door neighbors. Tonight's game here on the WJPA Sports Network is brought to you in part by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. By First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, people you know, people you can trust. By Washington County Human Services, take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By the Chambers Insurance Agency, your third-generation independent insurance agency in downtown Washington, and online at chambersinsurance.com. By CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Schweinebrauten Bus Lines, the shiniest school buses in town, and they're looking for drivers like you. And by RTI Insurance Services, proud to support area athletes, families, and communities. Log on trustrti.com. We'll take a look at tonight's schedule for Washington and Greene County teams when our pregame show continues on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Working overtime on your business needs? With First Federal of Greene County's Commercial Lending Department, your next step is closer than you think. From real estate secured purchases to refinancing, your loan starts and stays here. And now First Federal is offering business basic checking, business statement savings, and merchant services. First Federal will help you take care of business. For more information, visit online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to our pregame show here on the WJPA Sports Network. During the regular season, our audio and video coverage will be available at no cost to viewers and listeners on the WJPA Sports Network page and on our new YouTube channel. Once we get to the playoffs, just want you to know that video coverage and access to it is strictly through the NFHS portal under agreements with the WPIAL and the PIAA. Between now and the end of this month, we will have featured 12 of the 14 Washington County schools at least once here on the WJPA Sports Network, along with friends from Mount Lebanon, Montour, Waynesburg, and Monessen. That includes tonight's other featured game, Mount Lebanon at Peters Township. Jason Tennant and Scott Moore have the call on WJPA FM. Other games involving Washington and Greene County teams tonight. Avella at Springdale. The Eagles looking to open the year 3-0. The Dynamos hoping to snap an 18-game losing streak that dates back to September 9th, 2023. Bentworth travels down I-70 to Charleroi. The Bearcats looking to get back on the winning track after losing last week at Burgettstown. The Cougars hoping to end their 6-game losing skid, carrying back to late September a year ago. Beth Center hasn't won since beating Mapletown in mid-October last year. The Bulldogs have their hands full tonight at Monessen. The Greyhounds hoping to improve to 3-0 heading into Black Hills Conference play next week. Burgettstown opened its year with a field goal win last week against Bentworth. The Blue Devils host 2-0 Jeff Morgan in what could be a shootout at Hill Memorial Stadium tonight. We'll be in Burgettstown in a couple of weeks for their Saturday afternoon homecoming game against Chartiers Houston. California has scored 35-plus in each of its 2 wins. The Trojans go to Waynesburg to face the 1-1 Raiders, who've scored 30-plus each night out, including last week's 57-30 loss to Jeff Morgan. We'll be in Waynesburg next Friday to call the Raiders conference opener with Wash High. Been a rough start for Cannon McMillan. The Big Macs blown out by Peters Township and Upper St. Clair, another 5A foe on tonight's schedule as Canamac hosts 2-0 South Fayette at Memorial Stadium in Cannonsburg. Carmichael's opened last week with a home win against 2A Stowe Rocks. Now the Mikes travel to Fraser, hoping to catch the Commodores reeling from a late-game loss to Mapletown. Chartiers Houston evened its record after 2 weeks, a blowout win over Springdale. Tonight the Bucks travel to Mapletown, where the Maples used a late touchdown and a 2-point conversion to knock off Fraser last week. West Greens Road doesn't get any easier after losses to Waynesburg and Monessen. The Pioneers travel to Fort Cherry, where the top-ranked Rangers will play on their brand-new turf field at Jim Gary Stadium for the first time ever. McGuffey is home to West Allegheny. The Highlanders trying to get head coach Nate Perry his first win. The Indians lost their opener last week, a 29-28 setback against Chartiers Valley. The first win for the Colts' new head coach, former W&J assistant Sean Spence. Peters Township is the new #1 team in 5A, hosting 0-2 Mount Lebanon tonight on WJPA FM. Blue Devils open conference play next week. The Indians still a couple of weeks away from their Allegheny 6 opener against Upper St. Clair. Ringgold evened its record at 1-1 with a home win against Indiana, putting up 61 in the victory. Tonight, the Rams host 2-0 York. The upstart Cougars coming off their blowout home win against Charleroi. Wash High travels into Lawrence County to take on Union, both teams coming in off Week 1 losses. The Little Prexies 21-6 against Steel Valley. The Scotties falling to Neshannock 42-6 in their season opener. Coming up next, I'll chat with head coaches Dan Knaus and Lou Cerro in Coach's Corner. That's when our pregame show continues here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday Night Lights brings our communities together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm County Commissioner Nick Sherman, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential hotline today at 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a strong future for Washington County. 724-228-1234.
I'm Evan Chambers of Chambers Insurance Agency. You can't turn on the TV or scroll through social media without being bombarded by insurance commercials. They're everywhere, even on the radio. Low rates, big savings. We'll insure your pet iguana. Okay, maybe not the iguana. Sadly, many times you're not saving money, you're just getting your coverage slashed. By the time there's a claim, it's too late to see you've been duped. At Chambers Insurance, our goal is to improve your coverage and get you savings. We're local, family-owned, and we'll work with you to find the right coverage. Chambers Insurance, since 1953.
Here in Coach's Corner with Trinity head coach Dan Knaus. Dan, comfortable win last week against McGuffey, but but your starters only played a half. What do you learn from a game like that?
You just try to build depth. You try to be classy. You try to do things the right way. And, but I think, we learned that, we have some nice kids on the perimeter that can score quickly. And but it was a good night for our program because a lot of kids got Friday Night Lights experience.
Opening week, lose late to Moon. Montour plays Moon the next week and can't score in the second half and lose by double digits. What do you see in that film compared to your film and what you guys did?
Their game was as evenly matched as ours. I tell the kids scoreboard watching's for losers. They had a roughing the kicker, they had fumbles, and it kind of slanted, but those two teams were completely even, as were we with Moon. And I reminded the kids a couple years ago, TJ Mercy rules Latrobe. We lose, to Latrobe, and then we go and beat TJ. It's every night's its own identity.
When you look at Montour and what they want to do, what gives you pause?
Oh man, they have a really big physical line. They've got a really strong running back, and they've got skill kids everywhere. They just reload at the skill positions, so they test you, all over the field, offensively and defensively. They got a big physical D line and very good linebackers.
Offensively, how would you try to attack them?
Do what we always do. We're going to try to be a balanced attack, and we pride ourselves in being physical, and we're going to try to be north-south, but also have some explosive plays in the mix.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate it.
Trinity head coach Dan Canals. More on our pregame show on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
You deserve a bank that lifts up your business, that shares your spirits and your taste for success. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on crafting solutions that are as one-of-a-kind as your business is. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Good evening and welcome into Coach's Corner. Right now I'm with Montour head coach Lou Cerro. Lou, 1-1 to start the season. A couple of more non-conference games after tonight as well. Talk about how you approach this lengthy non-conference schedule.
Yeah, playing 5 non-conference games is actually going to help us this year because we have so many younger kids playing. Hopefully we'll get them ready. We have a ton of injuries. We hope we get them back by whenever we start the conference schedule.
Went to Central Valley, got a win, then last week in the game at halftime, and then just couldn't find the end zone again.
Yeah, we didn't play real well in the second half. Our young kids played like young kids, and but we're hoping they get better this week because if not, we're going to lose tonight.
Trinity opened with Moon. You had Moon last week. Any benefit to being able to see the team you're going to play and what they did against a common opponent?
Yeah, it helps us. I mean, Trinity didn't have a really great opponent last week. It is what it is. So we really focused on that Moon game, and obviously Trinity's really well coached, and we're looking forward to what we're going to do tonight.
What is it that you want to get done in tonight's game?
Oh, we just have to play better than we did last week. If we don't play better than we did last week, we're going to lose by 20 points again. So that's been the focus all week, and our kids didn't really get up for the task last week, and we're hoping they stay there for 4 quarters tonight.
Obviously, the holiday at the beginning of the week. Any mess with your schedule in that regard?
No, we still practice Monday, and we had a great week of practice. So hopefully we'll see what happens tonight.
I want everybody watching to know this. You've always been great to deal with. I was laughing with our guys in the box, and when we come back for softball playoffs, if it's bad weather, we're working in the football press box.
That sounds good to me. I love what you guys do for high school football, and thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you, Lou.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Lou Cerro, head coach of the Montour Spartans. We'll have more on our pregame show here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Montour Band on the field here at Thomas J. Burko Memorial Stadium in their pregame. And nice sized band, good sound, and want to welcome Jack Sacco in.
Yeah, thanks for having me again this week, Bob. Really excited for this one tonight. Should be a pretty good ball game between two very strong football squads.
We are going to join the Montour Band with our national anthem. Nice rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner here. Thanks to both head coaches for chatting with us in Coach's Corner. When Trinity hosted Montour a year ago, the teams went to the fourth quarter tied at 7. Daniel Batch scored on a 7-yard run with less than 3 minutes to play to give the Spartans the win. They are 13-2 all-time against Trinity. Jonah Williamson tied the game in the second quarter on a 1-yard keeper after Trey Hopper hit A.J. Alston for an 11-yard scoring pass in the first. Trinity, as I mentioned, has 2 more non-conference games, hosting Peters Township in a Dandy Challenge, and then Bethel Park also out of that 5A Allegheny 6 conference. And then Trinity opens Big 6 action September 26th at Ringgold, a game we'll have for you here on the WJPA Sports Network. Montour also a pair of tune-up games remaining before starting their Parkway Conference schedule. Spartans go to Knock next week, then host the Mars Fighting Planets in a final non-conference tune-up. Montour will host Blackhawks September 26th, then play 3 of its final 4 games on the road, finishing at Aliquippa, at West Allegheny, which of course is right next door to us here. Interesting, those of you who tune in and see the video, and those of you who really know the rules are going to see something's not right. And that something that's not right is that Montour's wearing white jerseys at home. Rules are dark at home, white on the road. And Trinity's wearing their royal blue jerseys and pants, wearing their home uniforms here at Montour tonight. With agreement, you can do that. Montour actually has a uniform issue with their home uniforms, and so they are wearing the home or the road whites here at home at Montour. Just got to tell you, what an incredible facility here. We have we're I don't know 25 rows of bleachers back from the track, and we are 3 stories up in the booth here, and just an absolutely incredible view here. And I mentioned with Lou Cerro about the about the view that we have of the softball complex, and we may be able to get that for you. Our camera guys, there's the shot that we often use in softball and baseball playoffs there from left center near over the shortstop, etc. But that's about 500 feet away from us here. But nobody will stand up in front of us. It's an absolutely incredible view. That field actually was built up. The old baseball field used to be where that softball field is. The football stadium is where it always was. But back in the late 70s, Montour was the home site for the WPIL baseball playoffs. Jack, your dad and I were on a team that played here in 1977 in the WPIL championship baseball game on that field that was not that high, nor was it that nice.
Yeah, everything here really is just beautiful. It's a really nice field. The scoreboard is awesome. One of those that shows video. You don't see a lot of those. We see one at Wash High, but that's still pretty uncommon at the high school level. Yeah, these are just wonderful facilities here at Montour.
And when I win that $1.7 billion Powerball, and all the schools in Washington County, Greene County too, are all getting brand new press boxes that I'm designing, I'm getting the blueprints for this baby, and this may be the blueprint for what we do when we get our first check of that $1.7 billion Powerball. I've always said, if God wanted me to win that, not only can he give me the numbers, he's going to have to give me the ticket, because I don't typically buy, but that's just the way it is. But what a blast. This is really incredible. The high school is off to our left, the elementary school directly across the field. That area used to be where the elementary school is, right across from us. That used to be a lot lower as well. And was practice fields for baseball, softball, some of the track stuff happened, and football practice field there as well. So they have done quite a job here in the townships that are covered by the Montour School District. Many of you know we do baseball at the Burkett Complex, which is up on Route 60. We've carried many of games. That's the home baseball field now for Montour since the softball took over this facility. But yeah, we've worked many a game there at WPIL playoffs at that site. We're going to be together tomorrow, are we not?
Yep.
All right.
We will.
Yep. W&J opens its season tomorrow, hosting Utica. Scouts tell me it could be a shootout.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much uncertainty with this year's season. We saw, a lot of really great players for W&J graduate last season. I still think the strength of the team is going to be the defense. I think it's going to be a pretty good defensive line up front. But we'll see. It could be a shootout. It could be, 10-7. You never know.
One of the things, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, one of the things I noticed when I was looking at Too Deep and experience, and there's not a lot of experience on the O-line for W&J, but they seem to be a little smaller, a little leaner. And I think Coach Mike's looking to get a little more active, not as much beef, but a little more mobility.
Yeah, and I think it helps with 3 new starters, or at least 2.5, I'll say, new starters on the interior there. One guy, Braden Penwell, he was hurt for a good portion of last year, but still was the starter at guard down the stretch. You get your 2 tackles back, which is very important. And I think that, having those 2 kind of holding it down on the outside, that it's really important for those really young, really talented interior guys to, learn and gel as a unit. Tomorrow is going to be that's going to be one of the big things to watch for. Early in the season, offensive lines, you don't know if they've gelled yet, because a lot of it is communication. And early in the season, you could see some miscommunication, some free rushers get home, and it's really going to be important to look at that in specific.
And the other thing, that the Presidents bring on offense, the duo of wide receivers who are really All-American caliber and going to be record setters, barring injuries. Peduzzi and McCosco are going to be all over the record books.
Yeah, I mean, we might see after tomorrow John Peduzzi be second all-time in program history in receiving yards. He's that close to the number 2 spot. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's a better duo out there, but I would have a hard time believing it. Those two are as talented as it gets at the Division III level. It's really a good thing for your offense if you have one of those guys. They have 2 of those guys. So, new quarterback Kellen Stahl this year, he's going to have a lot of toys to work with on offense. It's a really talented group.
Both teams about ready to make their entrance. The Hillers are going to break first. You see the Spartans there waiting, and I think the Hillers are going to make their way through the entrance, and it is a shared entrance to the far left corner of the stadium here, although with an rounded corners, I don't know that you really have a corner. There's a corner in the end zone, but the track doesn't have a corner. But in NASCAR racing, they call those turns. That'd be turn 3, and the Trinity Hillers are about to come in turn 3. They'll be on the far sideline throughout the game, and as soon as all the blue and white make their way through, the host Spartans in their black pants, white jerseys, and gold helmets will make their way in as well. Just minutes away from kickoff here in week 2. We'll get the ball on the tee for Trinity Montour when we come back here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Any insurance agent can sell you a policy. At RTI Insurance Services, we're going to sell you what you need. As a family-owned independent agency, RTI Insurance Services will provide you with multiple solutions for your personal and business coverages. We're proud to support area athletes, families, and communities, and we'd love to help you too. RTI Insurance Services in South Point. Online at trustrti.com.
Hillers coming on. Trinity band seated in the end zone to our right. Trinity cheerleaders here in front of the gathered Hiller hooligans. Looks like the Montour student section has a fluorescent theme about them tonight.
That's definitely neon night.
And how about my man Lucero with the tie and everything, all gussied up. Certainly appreciate everything that Lucero has always done. Serves on a couple of WPIL steering committees, always been helpful when he's been the game manager or the site manager mentioned here for softball. We've done playoff basketball broadcasts over in the high school. We've done football playoff broadcast here at Thomas J. Burko Memorial Stadium as well. Referees for tonight's game. The referee is David Dittler. John Barr is the umpire. Bill Mahoney and Terry DeCoy working the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barone and Andrew Canoe will work the defensive secondary. Referee Dittler standing right in the center of the block M, awaiting the captains for both teams. Again, if you're looking at that screen thinking, wait, this game's at Montour, why are they wearing white? They have a home uniform problem. Their dark uniforms have, I think they have some number issues and that kind of stuff, and waiting on replacements, something along those lines. And so reached out, and Trinity is wearing their home royal blue jerseys and pants, white numbers and white helmets for the Hillers, white jerseys, black numbers trimmed in gold, gold helmets, black pants with the gold stripes down the legs as well. Captains are gathering with the referee Dittler. I'm going to go over all the juicy details of pregame. We're going to have a clean game, fellas. We're going to go hard. We're going to go hard to the whistle, and then we're going to stop, and all of those things. And despite what you may have seen on television last night, we're not going to spit on anybody. Just the way it is. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't that something.
You know, it's funny. During the World Series, there was a situation that happened, and the answer was, "Oh, that's what they see on TV." And I said, "That's what the coach was explaining to me about the halfway down the first baseline big bat flip and all this." And I just said, "Hey, I'm not a fan of the bat flip. You know, you might want to speak that to your player." "Well, they see that on TV." And I said, "Well, here's the goal, coach. Be better than what they see on television, because that's not acceptable. It's not sportsmanlike in any fashion. So be better than what you see on television." So, and certainly expect our combatants tonight to be better than what we saw in the first 6 seconds on television last night. All right, all kind of action around the Tube County area. We certainly hope our colleagues at Peters Township are getting things squared away. We've worked there a bunch of times, and not sure what the issue is, but they certainly appear to have one, and we hope they'll get that all squared away. Teams gathering around their coaches for final instructions. Hillers first to break that huddle.
I had Montour winning the toss. They're taking the ball.
I've had those discussions with a number of coaches whose opinions I value, and I can't get comfortable one way or the other which is the right thing to do. I just haven't got there yet.
Yeah, I mean, at the NFL level, there's been people who try to look at that analytically. Honestly, I've always been someone, you know, I say kickoff first, but it really does not matter when you look at it from that perspective. It's more of kind of a feel thing. How do you want to set the tone in a game?
Xander Stern, Archie Collins back deep to receive. Evan Slagle with the ball teed up to kick off for the Trinity Hillers. 12 minutes on the clock, and we're about set to get this one underway. Slagle on the run-up, puts the foot to it. It's going to hit outside the 20. Picked up by one of the up-backs, and the return up the hash mark out across the 30 and out to about the 35 on the run back by Dom Barron. Barron realizing that ball was just kind of hanging there for him and made the grab right around the 20 and turned a 15-yard return out of it.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, as one of those up men, that's all you can do. You know, just get up, get the yards you have in front of you. You know, you're not one of those guys back there for a reason.
Brandon Bennett, the starting quarterback, a youngster, 6'3", 205-pound sophomore. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers wide this way, single receiver to the top of the set. Bennett has to reach down and find the snap. Handoff to Caden Alajo. And Alajo actually is going to lose a yard back to the 34.
Yeah, there was good penetration right up the middle, right from the jump, and Alajo, just not much room.
Gill on the stop. Lefty Bennett to put it up down the hash mark. Defender cut the receiver off legally. Ball thrown downfield looking for Stern, Xander Stern, and good job by the Hillers defense. Had right to be there as well. Just slow down and make the receiver run up the back, and incomplete pass.
Yeah, and that was a dangerous pass. Ben Priest was over there. That hangs up just a second longer. That's going the other way.
3rd and 11 for the Spartans. Bennett slides right, throws the ball down into traffic, underthrown, tipped away, and it falls incomplete. Priest with his hand on that one to knock it down.
Yeah, and that's another one. Honestly, I don't hate the decision there on 3rd down, because if you do get picked there, you know, it kind of serves as an arm punt, but back-to-back really turnover-worthy plays for Bennett. just a rough first possession for Montour.
Xander Stern is back to punt. Little rugby rollout. Kick gets a second lift there. Caught at the 28-yard line. Return up the far side by Daniel Glass. Out of bounds, out across the 45 and into Montour territory. Hillers with great field position to start. 38 on the punt. And Glass with a 23-yard run back. We have 11:01 to play, opening quarter. Trinity, well, linesman put the ball at the 49, referee at the 50, and then referee says, oh, I'm not at the stick. Move it to the Montour 49-yard line. Trinity's Jonah Williamson, 6'2", 212-pound senior. Tight end and a flanker right. Takes the snap, rolls left, pass is caught near side. It is Berdar inside the 40, should be a first down.
And just some quick game offense right there. Williamson, a quick rollout, little timing route for the receiver there, Berdar, and hits his man in stride.
Great night a week ago for Williamson. Will we have 9 of 10, 5 touchdown, 4 touchdown passes?
His only incompletion too was a perfectly placed pass that got dropped.
11-yard pickup on the completion to Berdar. Chase Kostelnik tops the set to the far side. The tight end now to the left with a wing up behind. Running play going straight ahead. And not a whole lot of room there. Daniel Glass, check that. It is Gardner, the ball carrier.
Yeah, just a minimal gain there for Gardner. Good gap integrity there from Montour, and able to hold Gardner to just that short two.
One of the things that Dan Knaus talked about was the physicality of both offense and defensive fronts for the Spartans, and you have to deal with that. Kostelnik and Samagala wide outs to the right side. Gardner single back. Now Samagala motions, running play. Gardner got a seam inside the 35, 30, jumped over a man and down at about the 27-yard line, first down.
Nice little hop and skip through the alley there from Gardner, able to hit the hole that was blocked up for him and get a little extra shimmying through the linebacker duo and secondary.
9-yard pickup for Gardner, his second straight carry. 9:35 to play, opening quarter. Trinity with a second first down. It's 1st and 10 at the Montour 27. Reverse motion by Samagala. Gardner on the carry, slip first contact, slip second contact, gets inside the 25 and down to the 21, a run of 6.
It looked like Gardner had first contact right at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to fight through one, fight through two, and even fought with a third and gained about as much as he could there.
Ball actually goes to the 20-yard line, so it'll be 7 on the run. 18 yards on his 3 carries. Hillers, a wide open playbook, second down and 3 at the 20. Lots to choose from. 2 wide outs, slot left, now motions to the right side. That's Kostelnik. Williamson with a play fake, pulls it down and run up the middle. First down and then some. 10, 5, going to the pylon, dives for the end zone, touchdown.
That's really nice recognition by Williamson. Looked like a few vertical routes going down the field, spaces the field out, and he immediately recognizes the good coverage and just tucks it and goes, and he's able to use those legs to break 2 tackles to find the end zone.
8:32 to play, opening quarter. PAT coming. Evan Slagle to attempt the kick out of the Jake Schreier hold. Snap, hold good. Slagle Slides it inside that left upright, and Trinity takes a 7-0 lead. 8:32 to play in the opening quarter. Trinity 7, Montour nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Don't fall behind on your home improvement projects. Let First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County help you with the heavy lifting before winter. First Federal gives you all the tools you need with FHA Title I home improvement, home equity, construction, and owner-builder loans. With offices in Washington, Greene, and Fayette counties, your loan stays here. Apply in person or anytime online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 458729.
49-yard scoring drive, 5 plays. Jonah Williamson, 20-yard scamper for the game's first points, and Evan Slagle adds the extra. 7-0 Trinity. Slagle set to kick it off. Run up again, a short kick. Coming up to take it is Archie Collins, 15, 20, 25, and hit between the 25 and 30. Glass took him down, looks to be right at the 30-yard line. Good return by Collins.
Yeah, Montour needs to get something here on this possession. First down is going to be really important. You need to get something positive. Last possession, they began it with a 1-yard loss, and they really need to get it going. Trinity looked flawless on their first possession.
Yeah, Montour -1 rushing and 0 for 2 passing, and really both passes could have been picked off. Single running back for Brandon Bennett, trips to his right. The lefty looks to the single receiver on the other side. Pass is deflected, incomplete. Glass tried to get back to it, but could not get to the loose ball. Dom Barron, the intended receiver.
And that's a little slant. You got to time that up well. And once you hit the top of your drop, and right there, it was just a little bit behind Barron.
2nd down and 10. Running play to the left side. Big guys driving the pile a little bit. Good yardage there for Palajo. And he's going to get about 6. So 3rd down and 4, and right back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice gain on 2nd and 10 right there. Big to get back with the sticks.
Palajo gets the call again, and this time does not get off of that first contact, taken down after a gain of just a yard, and it is 4th down and 3. The Spartans send the punt unit out.
I need someone down on the field for Trinity.
Looks to be a Trinity D lineman, maybe Matt Richards, the nose guard. Boy, Richards just stepped right in there and made the hit, but attend to him. Again, it is 4th down and 3 at the 37-yard line, but Trinity's athletic trainers right on the spot as soon as the officials realize the player down. 7:47 to go in our opening quarter. Trinity leading 7-0, and the Hillers will get the ball. The punt will come from just a few yards further out for Montour, if indeed they punt it. They punted from the 34 the first time, this at the 37-yard line. Still plenty of attention to Trinity defensive linemen. And this appears to be a left leg injury. And again, I believe it's Matt Richards. 6 foot, 250 pound sophomore. And now going to get to his feet, and that'll confirm it is Richards, but he is going to hop off with a little help. How about that? Your starting quarterback, a senior star, comes out to help Richards off the field.
It's good leadership.
Kudos to coaches and mom and dad there. Punt formation for Xander Stern. 38-yard kick his last time out. He'll take that again, but Kostelnik back to receive. Stern goes low to handle a snap. Gets the kick away. It's going to be away from Kostelnik and bounce inside the 30, and Kostelnik will just have to watch it roll, and it will get inside the 20-yard line. But Trinity will take over there. Good distance and well-placed kick there by Xander Stern at the 19-yard line.
If you can punt those low ones and get enough distance that they'll roll out a good bit, that's a pretty good weapon if you can get power, and as almost no returner is going to field that ball.
My math tells me 44 yards, high school punt. You'll take that every single time. Hillers now starting at their own 19, already leading 7-0. Trips left, single receiver to the far side. Running back this way. Williamson wants to put it up, now pulls it down and will run, trying to get to the bend and out across the 25 to the 26, a run of 7.
Once again, Williamson deciphering that play pretty early once again, that he's going to tuck and go. Seems to, in this game, at least with this game script, he wants to be quick with those decisions. That first read isn't there. It looks like he's just tucking that ball in and looking to do something with his legs. And honestly, someone as talented as Williamson, that's not a bad move.
Gain of 7 on first down, 2nd and 3 from the 26. Gardner goes in motion. Williamson rolls to the right. Not a good relationship with a pitch man. There was no pitch available. That may have been a design keep anyway, but a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, it looked like it was. It looks like Gardner was getting out in front to lead block, but Spartans were over there swarming Williamson.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 4 for Trinity at its own 25-yard line. Great to have you along tonight on WJPA AM in Washington, online WJPA.com, and our WJPA Sports Network YouTube channel. 3rd and 4, Williamson slings it quickly out to the near side, but not much of a block out in front, and a loss on the play on the completion to Avari Chandler.
Yeah, that blocking kind of fell apart on the perimeter, and that led to Chandler just getting dumped early as he turned his head.
Completed pass for a loss of 2 yards. The old joke about Woody Hayes saying, 3 things can happen on a forward pass and 2 of them are bad. He could never even conceptualize that you'd complete a pass and lose yardage. Punt is shanked, but going to roll end over end inside the 40, inside the 30, and going on down to about the 27-yard line. 50 yards on that little, not great punt, but great roll, that's for sure. And the Hillers will take the net result out of it. Again, 50-yard punt and roll. And Montour with the ball back in hand for the 3rd time here in the opening quarter. Still 5:09 remaining in the first. And the Spartans, relatively same area, though this is their worst starting position. Started at the 35, the 30, and now at the 27, all on their own side of midfield. Dylan Rogers motions, now resets in a slot left. Bennett hands the ball off. Halagio gives ground and is taken down for a loss of about 6. Well, at some point, once you see what's happening, you just got to put your foot in the ground and get what you can, and it's not running that direction.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Bob. At some point, you have to just cut your losses. Even the most special players can't consistently make anything out of plays like that.
Loss of 6 on the run. Back to negative yardage for Halagio. Now makes a nice cut up over the 25-30. Made a man miss. Cuts to the far side. And Kostelnik will finally chase him to the boundary, but Halagio out to the 48-yard line where Montour has its first down.
That was a really nice run, a big hole right up the middle for Halagio. He was able to hit it and shows off that playmaking ability downfield, making a couple guys miss.
Gain of 27. It's 1st and 10 at the Spartans' 48-yard line. Split backs now with Bennett, the sophomore left-handed quarterback. Twin receivers left. Now motion Halajo that way and run the ball back the other way. Big seam opens up into Trinity territory. 40, 35. Ball is fumbled. Collins coughed it up, but it's recovered on a downfield scramble by the Spartans.
Oh, Collins is lucky right there. I mean, that could have been pretty bad. He coughed that up. It was a really nice play, but fortunately for him, his teammate Jack Neff was downfield.
First and 10 at the Trinity 27. Montour on the move on the ground. Running play coming around the outside again, but that play stopped Halajo down to about the 24, gain of 3.
And I think Halajo honestly maybe bounced that out too quickly. He had some room up the middle, and I think he probably could have gotten a few more yards if he had taken that route.
2nd and 7 at the Trinity 24. Montour driving for what they hope to be a tying touchdown. And again, not really sure what's happening with our other crew, but we certainly hope they're getting those issues squared away. The Spartans look like they're going to let the play clock run all the way down and then use a timeout. First timeout of the opening half, 3:20 to play first quarter. Trinity 7, Montour nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opiate addiction. I'm Commissioner Larry Maggi, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
Yeah, it looked like the Spartans were having trouble early in the sequence there getting the play in, and then Lucero just walked to the linesman and just stood there, and the team didn't go to the line of scrimmage, and that's when you know, okay, we're going to take a timeout here, but we're going to let this run all the way down.
Yeah, it's good to catch that. Would have liked to, if you're Montour, maybe keep that tempo up, as they were keeping it very consistent, getting the ball out quickly, and those handoffs, man, they were able to pick up some serious yardage.
Running play going back the other way. It's Archie Collins trying to get to his edge block. Fought through that would-be tackle. Trying to stay with the block was Dom Barron, but Hiller's able to get off of that and get the tackle made, but not before the gain to the 20-yard line. A run of 4 for Collins.
Yeah, there was more yardage gain there by Collins than it looked like he was going to be able to get, but he was able to fight through a tackle right at the end and pick up, honestly, 3 more than he would have had.
3rd and 3. Bennett calls for the snap, hands to Halajo, reverse field. Halajo gets the first down, got spun around backwards, kept chugging the legs, and puts the ball to just outside the 15. We'll call it the 16, a run of 4 there, and another first 3rd down conversion of the night for Montour.
Yeah, and that was a good run, just keeping those legs churning.
6 carries, 33 yards, the bulk of that on that 127-yard run early in this series. 1st and 10, running play. Again, a change of direction forced by the Hillers defense. And then carry back to about the 12-yard line, gain of 4 more. Ball carrier there, I'm sorry.
I had Halajo again.
Spartans moving all on the ground from their own 27, now at the Trinity 12. Collins comes in motion. Halajo took the handoff and hit immediately and taken down. I'm not sure that he got back to the line. David Gill stepped in and said, I got you. Yeah, put his face mask right in the 2-7 on the chest.
Yeah, that's throwing your face in the fan right there. Gill just burst into the backfield. There was no hesitation there from the linebacker spot.
Going to be ruled officially no gain. So 3rd down and 6 at the Trinity 12, and the Spartans long time at the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to inside 10 seconds.
They're going to have a hard time getting the snap off.
Bennett gets everybody set, calls for it, shows a handoff, fires a slant pass, and the ball caught. Fingertip grab in the end zone. Dom Barron, touchdown.
That was a nasty throw right there from Bennett. On the slant, you know, that's when you really want to get some velocity behind that pass, and Bennett did. He ripped that with confidence and put it right where Barron could get it.
Extra point attempt now. Luke Medvitz to attempt. With snap and hold, pressure from the right side. Medvitz beats that and boots it home to tie the game. Trinity 7, Montour 7. Just under a minute to play in the opening quarter. The kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Hi, this is Mac Chambers of Chambers Insurance Agency. For over 70 years, we've been here for you, your family, and your business. At a time in which premiums continue to rise and policy coverage is more confusing and limited than ever before, we're proud to be your trusted guides. No gimmicks or surprises, just real protection at the best possible price. Personal, business, or bonds, will keep it simple and straightforward, just as we've always done. Chambers Insurance, helping you navigate today's insurance world. Learn more at chambersinsurance.com.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
All on the ground until the final play of the possession. 73 yards, 9 plays. Bennett to Barron, 12-yard touchdown pass, and the extra point ties the game. Kickoff taken at the 14-yard line. Cut to the middle of the field and back out to the hash marks, and the run back comes to an end. Daniel Glass on the run back. About 17 yards for Glass.
Yeah, and that's, you know, a big-time drive for Montour. Now Trinity has an opportunity to punch right back. You know, that was a flawless first possession for Trinity. The last one, not so much. A couple failed plays in the mix there.
Ball at the 32-yard line, where Trinity will take over 1st and 10. Couple of other scores for you. End of one quarter. California and Waynesburg are scoreless. Washington 7, Union 6. Running play, tough sledding inside for the Hillers. Gardner going to pick up 2 to the 34.
Not much there. The gap integrity in the run game so far for Montour has been pretty good. They've been, you know, not allowing big holes.
Other scores, Carmichael's and Frazier tied at 8 in the second. Best Center and Monessen scoreless at the end of one. Pocket collapses, passes out of the hands of Williamson, but the ball falls loose. We'll get a good look here. Stayed in there as long as he possibly could, then stepped up into the pocket, wanted to set and throw, and got hit from behind, and that ball nearly picked off. Good shot at it by Michael Lucas for Montour.
Yeah, Lucas had a shot. That's one of those rushes. You might only get one every game, but Montour had about 3 different rushers win up front, and right there was Dylan Rogers, who was able to put the real pressure on Williamson and force that incompletion.
Trinity 3rd and 8 from the 34-yard line. Pass is dumped off, complete, but good for maybe a yard. Nothing more than that on a reception by David Gill on the final play of the first quarter. Trinity 7, Montour 7 after 1. We're back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
you deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Unofficially, I have Trinity with 46 yards rushing, 56 yards total offense in the opening quarter. Montour 66 on the ground, led by Halajo with 37 yards. 12 yards passing only for Brandon Bennett, but that 12 equaled 6. The Spartans' only touchdown. Teams are even up at 7 apiece after one quarter, and Trinity in punt formation. Back deep to receive is Xander Stern. First punt by David Gill was not really a thing of beauty until it was allowed to continue to roll and roll and roll. Ended up being a 50-yarder. Trinity now 4th down and 7 from its own 35 to punt for the second straight time. Gill gets a good snap, and a much better kick is away. Stern comes up under it at the 32. Got off first contact, 35, and out of bounds on the near sideline, out of about the 40-yard line. So 33 on this kick, but a nice return for Xander Stern of about 8 yards.
Yeah, that's a really nice run back from Stern.
Montour will start 1st and 10 at its own 40. And now starting to improve. Went backwards on the first snap of each of the first 3 possessions, 35, 30, 27. Now 13 yards better than that, out at the 40-yard line with a little momentum. Collins goes in motion. Halajo takes a handoff back the other way and ridden to the ground after a gain of a yard. Gill with the coverage there to bring him down.
Yeah. That time not much for Halajo. He just got up inside. Minimal gain. No penetration there from Montour offensive line.
Peters Township 7, Mount Lebanon nothing. That's in the second quarter. Bentworth 21, Charleroi nothing. That's still in the first. Montour 2nd down and 9. Collins again motions. Bennett pump fakes that way. Now looking to direct downfield traffic. And now we'll pull it down and run. He's going to get sacked. Bennett too long looking it over. Had a man running free down the numbers near side, but never looked that way, and so the 1-yard loss on the sack brings up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, he was looking down that seam. It looked like Stern was going to break free, but a safety over top was what deterred Bennett from throwing that at the last moment.
Collins now goes into the middle of 3 receiver set to the right. 3rd down and 10. Pass play that direction. Collins steps behind a blocker. Got off shoe tackle. And now off of hard contact and forward for a 1st down. Hillers had 2 chances. Should have put him on the ground.
Yeah, they had a chance at the line of scrimmage to get down Collins and whiffed on that one twice there. That's just really poor tackling from the Hillers.
An 11-yard completion and a 1st down. The 49-yard line. Halajo takes a delayed handoff. He got off contact, was almost stopped, and now he's got 10-plus into Trinity territory.
Wow, I mean, that tackling just needs to be better. They had him on the ground essentially. He was anything but down, everything but down, I should say. I mean, you just have to finish.
And the carry forward to the Trinity 35, good for 14 yards. That's 10 carries for Alajo, 52 rushing yards. Running play back the other way. Collins breaks an arm tackle. He's got a bunch. 15, 10, 5 hit outside the goal line and fights his way in. Touchdown.
I mean, that's just 3 plays in a row where Trinity just had the guy and just let him go because they didn't tackle. I mean, a little end around there. Collins had some room after missing that first guy, but at some point you have to actually tackle and not just try to take him down with your arms.
35-yard Collins touchdown run. Extra point attempt coming. It'll be Medvitz again. Good snap and hold, pressure right up the middle. Medvitz kicks it home. Montour 14, Trinity 7. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Any insurance agent can sell you a policy. At RTI Insurance Services, we're going to sell you what you need. As a family-owned independent agency, RTI Insurance Services will provide you with multiple solutions for your personal and business coverages. We're proud to support area athletes, families, and communities, and we'd love to help you too. RTI Insurance Services in South Point. Online at trustrti.com.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
I'm just going to venture a guess that 2 minutes in film study will not be a very comfortable time in the Hillers film room tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe assumption.
Montour leading 14-7. The Spartans set to kick off. And look to be out across it. And the kickoff is going to get inside the 10 on the bounce, and Gardner lets it go. Looked like the Montour squad got away with an offside there on the kick. The widest guy on the near sideline looked to be several steps out ahead of that. But be that as it may, it wasn't offside on the kickoff because the officials said it wasn't. Trinity takes over at its own 20-yard line, 3 and out on each of its last 2 possessions. A nice 49-yard opening drive, 5 plays ending in a touchdown, but no first downs since that point. And now Hillers trailing. Williamson with twins left, twins right, hands the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and got tripped up trying to get out of the backfield. Dylan Rogers got enough of him to knock him down, gain of just 2.
I would like for Trinity to maybe start going through the air here more. I think that they have a lot of good weapons on the outside, and let Williamson maybe read some things out and try to get it that way.
Thank you, Scott Donnelly. There are words on my paper. I can see them now. Gain of just 2 at 2nd and 8. Trinity at its own 22-yard line. 9:05 to play opening half. And the Hillers taking too long at the line of scrimmage, and they get a timeout called before getting a flag from the back judge. You want to keep Anthony Barone and Andrew Canoe with the flags in their pockets and use the timeout. First for Trinity here in the opening half. Again, it comes with 9:01 to play, second quarter. We'll take a quick timeout as well. 14-7 Montour back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Working overtime on your business needs? With First Federal of Greene County's Commercial Lending Department, your next step is closer than you think. From real estate secured purchases to refinancing, your loan starts and stays here. And now First Federal is offering business basic checking, business statement savings, and merchant services. First Federal will help you take care of business. For more information, visit online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If I'm seeing correctly, we'll see if we can't get our crack camera crew to pick up the other football game being played here in Montour on over on the bank on the far side. Oh yeah, jump passing and everything going on over there. But
I remember those days as a little guy at these games, just playing around.
2nd and 8, hard count by Williamson, and a move into the neutral zone. And that's got to be Tyson Verdream, 6 foot, 225-pound defensive end. And when you stand up and take a hard step across, it's hard to hide when you're that size. First penalty of the ball game. Williamson fakes a handoff, keeps it himself, and he gets only to the line of scrimmage. Back out to the 27-yard line. So now 3rd and 3 coming up.
It looked like a little bit of a quarterback draw. And there still just wasn't really anything for Williamson there. As I just said, I'd like to see Trinity try to air this out more. I think that there's yards to be gained through the air. And they haven't unlocked that quite yet.
3rd down and 3 for the Hillers. Receiver comes in motion. Williamson hands it off, hole up the middle. Gardner pounds through it out to the 35-yard line to move the sticks.
No fooling around right there for Gardner. He just burst through that hole. Wasn't messing around. Picked up what he had in front of him.
8-yard run for Gardner, his 5th carry of the ball game. He's got 28 yards, and Trinity has its 4th first down, the first in a little over 12 minutes of game action. Their last first down came at the 8:32 on the touchdown run. Hadn't had one since, but moved the sticks here. 8 minutes to play, 2nd quarter. Trinity down 14-7. Gardner again with a carry and forward for 5, maybe 6 tough yards straight ahead.
It's been good, efficient running for Owen Gardner so far. Just his 6th carry of the game, and he's right up at 34 yards.
California leads Waynesburg 14-0 in the second. Frazier 15, Carmichael's 8 in the second. Bell Vernon up on Central Valley 7-3. And Bentworth 28-0 ahead of Charleroi. Ringgold 12-zip up on York. 2nd down and about 4. Sling it to the left side. Ball is caught. Play going to get close to a first down, but 2 guys there in the area, and the ball got through, and I think the intended receiver was Sam Agala, but Gardner did a good job to pull his hands down, and Sam Agala fights to about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's by design or what, but that was a weird-looking play.
Running play off the left side, contact pretty quickly, but getting off of that, Gardner gets another first down.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I mean, Gardner has shown that's what he can do. He's not going to fool around. Not a lot of room, but he gets what was needed.
3-yard completion to Sam Agala that's followed by the 4-yard Gardner run. And a first down at the 48-yard line. 3 receivers set wide to the near side. Single receiver to the top of the set. Williamson runs it into Gardner's belly. Gardner takes the ball and gets across midfield for a gain of 3 tough yards.
Yeah, there was some push up front, but it was a nice job by the Montour linebackers staying in the right spot, not over pursuing.
Yeah, Jacob Halbadell stayed with it and rode Gardner to the ground. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Williamson in a clean pocket, looks for the slant, and a little short arm there. Pass not caught. Well, it looked like that Ball was in a catchable situation. We'll get a little better look at it. Yeah, Sam Agala just didn't make the catch. I mean, it wasn't like he took it in stride, but reached down. It was above the knees, and
yeah, it was that would have been a tough catch. One I'm sure Sam Agala is not happy that he didn't make, but I think there was a miscommunication there. I think Sam Agala was getting ready to settle into the zone right there, and I think that Williamson wanted him to run all the way through the post as it was open.
Williamson 4 of 6 for 13 yards. Looking to set up a screen. Pressure coming. Dylan Rogers. Williamson gets rid of it. Sideline ball and a catch along the sideline. Good for a first down.
I'm going to tell you what, Bob. There were linemen about 10 yards downfield due to that attempted screen.
We're good, but then the release, and when Williamson rolls out, but he's able to get the ball to Glass, and Glass with the catch and a foot down. First down. Ball at the 34-yard line. 15 and a move of the sticks. Delay handoff. Good hard run for Glass. Going to get forward to about the 30. Run good for 4. Glass with the 15-yard reception and rewarded with a running play. Second down and 6. Running play again over the left guard. And Gardner picks up 4 more. Upcoming the 12th play of the possession. And Trinity stays at the line of scrimmage. Trying to hurry this up and stop the substitutions. Toss to the left. It'll be Gardner again, has the first down before contact, finally pushed to the boundary and not out of bounds until he got down to around the 16-yard line.
This has been the Owen Gardner drive for Trinity. I mean, he's just getting all those important yards for him.
Call it a 10-yard run for Gardner. He's now 55 yards on 10 carries here in the opening half. Fort Cherry rolling West Green 34-0 on the turf at Jim Gary Stadium. Here it's 14-7 Montour. Trinity with 4:37 to play in the first half. Now going to flip-flop both wings to the near side. A little more balance to the set. Williamson rolls this way. Now a throwback toward the end zone. Little contact. Pass is not caught. Little bump just into the end zone. At the throwback pass intended for Ben Priest.
Yeah, that was a sort of mesh concept over the middle where you're getting identical crossing routes, and right there, number 15, Priest, leaks out from the tight end spot and unable to make the grab. It was a good throw, though.
Second down and 10, Trinity at the Montour 16-yard line. Single back behind Jonah Williamson. Running play to the left, it's Gardner. And he's going to try to worm his way forward. He'll pick up 3 to the 13, but now Trinity facing 3rd and 7.
Here you go. This is a money down right here. You're in the last 4 minutes and change of this first half. You're trailing now after getting off to a good start. You have a big chance here to score.
4 consecutive third down conversions for the Hillers. They face number 5 here. 3rd and 7 at the 13. Glass motion, swing at the Glass, pass a little behind him. He'll get the first down and dives toward the pylon, but stepped out of bounds at the 4. It's 1st and goal, Trinity.
Williamson put a lot of pepper on that. It was just a little swing pass. Fortunately, Glass was able to slow down and reverse course a little bit. But
if that ball's on target, Glass runs to the end zone easily.
Untouched.
6th completion for Williamson, 2nd catch for Glass on this possession. Both times moving the sticks, 5 for 5 on third downs on this possession. 1st and goal at the Montour 4-yard line. Line bunching in tight. Running play, Gardner trying to find room up the middle, and with a big guy that gave an offside penalty up for Dream. hit Gardner when Gardner was straight up and down, and that really ended the run. May have gained a yard on the play to the 3.
Yeah, Verdreen just got off his block right away.
3:25 to play in the first half. Coming up at intermission, we'll get you a news update. We'll also have the PAC football report ahead of week 1 action. 2nd down and 3. Williamson takes the snap and drives it into the end zone for a touchdown.
That's an easy one. Just quarterback power right there. You get Williamson the rock, get him right up the middle. No fooling around, and he's able to read that hole.
3:08 to play. A 6-minute and 40-second drive for Trinity. 80 yards and 17 plays in high school. That's an impressive feat of work there on the gridiron.
Yeah, it took some key 3rd down conversions.
Schreier tees up, had a little trouble with the snap, but got it teed up, and Evan Slagle kicks it home to tie the ball game. 3:08 to play, first half. Trinity 14, Montour 14. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner Electra Janis, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
I'm Evan Chambers of Chambers Insurance Agency. You can't turn on the TV or scroll through social media without being bombarded by insurance commercials. They're everywhere, even on the radio. Low rates, big savings. We'll insure your pet iguana. Okay, maybe not the iguana. Sadly, many times you're not saving money. You're just getting your coverage slashed. By the time there's a claim, it's too late to see you've been duped. At Chambers Insurance, our goal is to improve your coverage and get you savings. We're local, family-owned, and we'll work with you to find the right coverage. Chambers Insurance since 1953.
Couple of things about that drive. 17 plays, 5 consecutive 3rd down conversions, and not a single play went backwards.
And that's how you get those big drives. And you can't sustain a long drive like that if you're going in the wrong direction.
Xander Stern, Archie Collins back to receive. The kickoff taken on the fly at the 20-yard line up the hash marks, but the run back comes to a pretty quick start by Stern as he's going to get out to about the 30. Ends up with only about 10 yards on that run back.
Here you go. I mean, I mentioned it with Trinity on that last possession. How do you respond after going down in the game? Montour had kind of taken the possession. It's been really interesting this first half, the ebbs and flows. You know, Trinity came out, looked like they were going to maybe have their way on offense. That wasn't the case up until the previous drive. Montour, they've been having a lot of success since their first 2 possessions. See if they can sustain it.
Spartans 1st and 10 at their own 30. Pass play, man open, it's Stern out across the 45, midfield, cuts back the other direction, 30, 25, inside the 20, and Xander Stern going to the end zone. What an answer.
Yeah, that was easy. Xander Stern, great route. Was able to get it free into the middle of the field, and from there a foot race, and Xander Stern shows off those wheels, beat everyone to the end zone. Really like that route concept. You get Stern on, look to be a post, and after faking, you know, a couple guys in the underneath game, that's a big-time play, big-time delivery from Bennett.
Try to go for 2, and the play does not work. And, the Spartans looking like they were worried about something, but was there a timeout or a false start? No. Well, if there's a false start, the play has to be whistled dead. And now the Spartans, they have not come up the field yet. Nate, can you show us that again? Okay, they are indicating it must be an alignment penalty, illegal procedure, not a false start, and that play went through and was tackled out on the wing. Ended up ball in the hands of Michael Lucas of Montour, and so it's 20-14 Montour. The try fails. Tried a little something unorthodox after getting the big touchdown play and came up empty. But now the Hillers are going to have to try to respond again. Boy, good answer by Montour. You know, Trinity drove the ball 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the 17-play scoring drive. And you think in some fashion, okay, we took a little starch out of them. Bang, 70-yard TD pass and run.
And, you know, one thing that I want to mention here, Montour's defense was just out there for 17 plays. One play, bang, they're back out on the field. I'm sure they're happy. A lot of those guys are also on offense, but I'm sure they are maybe thinking, man, maybe a couple more minutes would have been nice.
Glass and Gardner back deep to receive the kickoff. And Xander Stern with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. The run-up and the kick, and it'll be to Gardner. Fields it on the move to the sideline at the 8, up over the 20, 25, 30. Still carrying people with him out across the 35-yard line. About 30 yards on that run back, and it all started with Gardner sprinting toward the sideline to catch the ball. But then once he got a foot in the ground and took it up the numbers, he just kept on going. 30-yard return. So 2:44 to go in the first half. Trinity with the ball at the 39-yard line. Hillers have completed 6 of 9 passes. And on that last possession, 3 of 5. Trips left, single receiver to the near sideline, ball at the near side hash mark. Williamson calls for the snap, hands it off. It's Gardner over the 40 to the 43, run of about 4.
Trinity took 6 minutes, 40 seconds off the clock on their previous possession. They only have about 2.5 to work with here.
You know, these are circumstances where, I mean, yeah, you want to get down and score, but you have things you want to work on in a tight situation. Yep. You know, 2-minute drill, one of the things that you want to try to work on. Down to 2:15 here in the first half. Williamson again hands it off. Nice jump cut by Gardner. Almost ran free out of a shoe tackle, but down at the Montour 49 with a first down.
Yeah, to go along with what you were saying, Bob, you know, we saw a successful 2-minute drill type of situation for Trinity in their opener against Moon on the long Williamson touchdown that gave them the lead that they would eventually give up.
Clock stopped with the incompletion. Hillers did not huddle, but they ended up with 12 guys on the field. They run one off. Now comes set at the line of scrimmage with the clock turning. Williamson with a play fake, steps, throw down the middle, passes, led the receiver too far, and a sliding interception is made. Dom Barron, and that pass was not on target, and Barron came across to help and picked it off.
Yeah, right there. He has his man running the rail. Tries to get that ball into Priest. And just a poor decision more than anything there from Williamson. Definitely short of where you want it, but Priest was pretty well covered up the middle.
So the interception gives Montour the ball back at the 26-yard line. And they have 97 seconds with which to work. And 2 timeouts. Brandon Bennett with backs on each side. Calls for the snap. Fakes the handoff and the deep slant, and the receiver cut underneath. Barron took it toward the far sideline, and the pass went like he was going to go deeper down the hash. Incomplete.
They really like getting Bennett those throws on those slants. We've seen it already 3 or 4 times.
I have Bennett just 3 of 7, but 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Running play, tackle not made initially, but coming back was Avari Chandler to get the running back on the ground. That is Archie Collins with a carry out to the 29, 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, Chandler initially missed the tackle, but a good job working back after Collins had to hesitate.
Cannon-McMillan 10, South Fayette 7. That's in the second. Best Center leads Monessen 3-0 at the half. And I want to see your bingo card if you had that on there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Monessen team that's looked really good through 2 weeks, and that's not a score you want to see if you're them.
Ball on the ground. Bennett able to pick it up and avoid the rush. Throws to the sideline and incomplete there. And the clock will stop with the incomplete pass. 42 seconds to go. Montour will have 4th down and 7 at their own 29-yard line. That all started. Trinity showed blitz, and Bennett took off before he caught the snap, and then he had to play it on the hop. Glass and Kostelnik back to receive the Xander Stern punt. 38 and 44-yard kicks already. Stern gets some pressure, hangs a beauty up in the air, and Kostelnik with all kind of room calls for and makes a fair catch. But if he had that to do all over again, he'd probably try to do something with that. Trinity has the ball back, survives the turnover. 35 seconds to play before intermission. Trinity ball at its own 40-yard line. 20-14, Montour leading.
And if you're Trinity here, 35 seconds. Maybe try to do something on this first play. I'd say if that doesn't go your way, I guess you can't really sit on it. Montour has 2 timeouts left, so.
Yeah.
If you're going to go for it, you got to go for it.
2 backs with Williamson leads you to believe those are pass protect. Nope. Option run. Williamson up over the 45, cuts to the far sideline, needs a downfield block. 40, 35, stays on his feet. 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
That's a big-time run from Williamson. He's trouble in the open field to try to tackle. He utilizes that stiff arm, got out in space. Big-time run to set up a huge opportunity to score some points.
Pelagio able to stay with him and knock him out of bounds, but not before Williamson gets to the 19-yard line. And now timeout called for Montour. 24 seconds to play in our first half. Trinity looking for a tying touchdown and then see if they can get a PAT. Montour's second timeout. They have 1 left. Trinity has 2 timeouts remaining. A couple of scores at the half. California 14, Waynesburg 7. Again, we'll be in Waynesburg next Friday night for the Century Conference opener. Wash High and Waynesburg. Wash High at the half is leading at Union 14-6. And South Fayette has come back in the second quarter to take a 14-10 lead against Cannon-McMillan. That game at Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg, and that is also at the half. After the timeout, Trinity with the ball at the Montour 19. The Hillers with 2 timeouts. With 24 seconds and 2 timeouts, everything's still available to you. You can, on this play, you can call anything.
Yeah, and I think with how Trinity's offense is structured, I think you're going to roll with Williamson, but Gardner's definitely an option.
1st and 10 at the 19. Motion out of that 2-back set. Williamson keeps it, takes it up the middle, and got pinballed around. Stopped at the 16, and Trinity will use a timeout. Worked the last time. Well defense this time by Montour. Williamson now with 75 yards on 8 carries. The timeout comes with 17 seconds to play in the half. Well, if you're Trinity, now you want to protect your opportunity to get points, but you also you need 16 yards. You're not likely to run for that, at least not on one play.
Yeah, what I would look for is maybe a designed rollout where you get Williamson on the move. He has options, and you get him going towards that sideline. I'd say that's your safest bet. Or if you're going to – I don't think you could go under center or run up the middle here. You have to go towards the sidelines.
John Sacco gives me a correction with alert. It is Canamac 17, South Fayette 14 at the half. Trinity trailing 20-14. Both of these teams are 1-1. Hillers lost their opener to Moon 14-13, then beat McGuffey. Montour won at Central Valley 27-20, then lost here to Moon 41-13. 2nd and 7 at the 16-yard line. Williamson, quarterback draw, keeps the play alive, throws the ball toward the end zone, and this one's underthrown, and it may be intercepted again. Yes. Gave away the opportunity to get points. A second interception.
Yeah, and Williamson, I think he had decided he was going to run, and then saw there were a couple defenders in his face, and instead of just throwing that away, puts it in danger and take points off the board. And a second really questionable decision from Williamson.
The second interception thrown, and the Hillers get nothing out of that possession that started with a 41-yard run. Spartans line up like they're going to kneel it down, and in fact, that's exactly what will happen. But Montour takes a 6-point lead into the locker room. Trinity will have the ball to start the second half, but had an opportunity and made a bad decision, did the Hillers quarterback, and threw a couple of interceptions late in the half, and Hillers come up empty, and we'll talk about it at intermission. We'll get you a recap. We've got a news update, PAC football report, all coming your way here from Thomas J. Burko Memorial Stadium on the Montour School District campus. We're at the half. Back to recap it for you in just a couple of minutes here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
You deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Welcome back to Montour. We'll get word that we do not have news, and our apologies for that, but we'll get the PAC football report for you here in just a little bit. We'll also get the opportunity to bring you a little bit of the halftime performances from both the Trinity and Montour bands. Montour opening possession, running play for a loss of a yard and 2 incomplete passes, a punt, and Trinity took over in Montour territory. 5 plays later, Jonah Williamson scrambles in from 20 yards out. The extra point kicked by Evan Slagle, and the Hillers had a 7-0 lead. Teams trade possessions. Montour takes over at its own 27-yard line. A couple of broken tackles on consecutive plays, and Montour was set up at the Trinity 27. They convert consecutive third down situations, including 3rd and 6 at the 12, with a bullet pass from Brandon Bennett to Dom Barron for the touchdown. You see there on the video replay the fumble by Collins that Neff covered, and then shortly thereafter that bullet pass to Barron for the touchdown. Medved's extra point tied the game at 7, just under a minute remaining. Hillers went 3 and out. We ended the first quarter, and facing 3rd down and 10, Collins caught a pass from Bennett, broke a couple of tackles, should have been stopped short and wasn't, got a first down. Halajo busted off a 14-yard run, should have been stopped, wasn't, got the ball to the 35, and then Collins takes it to the house, 35-yard touchdown run. Medved's extra point gave Montour a 14-7 lead, 9:48 to play in the first half. Trinity went on a very impressive high school drive, 80 yards, 17 plays, 5 consecutive 3rd down conversions, and Jonah Williamson scoring from 3 yards out to cap the possession. You see there, he just quarterback power and got in the end zone. Slagle's extra point tied the game at 14 all, but that didn't last long. In fact, it lasted with the kickoff and the only offensive play that followed. It lasted a total of 18 seconds because Bennett, with the interest in the running play, had the time set up, faked a couple of handoffs, and then found Xander Stern, and Stern broke it toward the far pylon, then cut back to the hash mark, and 70-yard touchdown catch and run. The conversion failed. Hillers, though, turned the ball over twice on key situations. Had a 1st and 10 at midfield, and interception thrown by Williamson. Montour 3 plays and a punt. Trinity got the ball at their own 40-yard line with 35 seconds to go. Got a 41-yard run again by quarterback Williamson to the 19. And after trying to run that same play, getting only 3, and a pass into traffic in the end zone was picked off. The 2 defenders were the closest players to the football. One receiver was behind those 2, and the other receiver was not there on the deep post pattern, and the interception ended that potential scoring situation for Trinity and brought us to the end of the first half with Montour leading 20-14. Thoughts on the first half there, partner?
Yeah, you know, I as I mentioned earlier, it just kind of the ebbs and flows are really intriguing to see who would keep the momentum, and really neither team was able to keep it throughout the entirety of that first half. And, you know, I think that Trinity's really, really going to be kicking themselves for that missed opportunity right at the end of the first half. You know, it really was two promising drives, especially the one that got them down into the red zone that ended with Williamson interceptions. You know, Williamson, you know, he's not the only player on this team by any stretch. There's a lot of really talented Hillers, but, you know, you need your guy, you know, your Division I quarterback to go out there and take care of the football. And right there at the end of the first half, he wasn't able to do that. On the flip side of that, you know, really, really promising few possessions for Montour's offense. You get the huge play to Xander Stern, a really nice throw from Bennett. And I think, you know, if they can come out and keep Trinity from putting up points at the beginning of this third quarter, Montour clearly has the momentum right now, and I think that if you keep that up and keep it with Montour and they go down and score, that puts Trinity in a really difficult position.
Total offense numbers, Trinity with the better ground game, 150 yards for the Hillers, led by 75 yards for Williamson, 71 more for Gardner. But Trinity 6 of 11 passing for just 37 yards, and the 2 first half turnovers, 187 total offense. On the other side, Montour has 118 yards on the ground. Collins has 67 yards and a touchdown. Halajo with 10 carries for 52 yards. And Brandon Bennett, 3 of 8 passing, but he has 93 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. And that's how Montour has the 20-14 lead at the break. 211 yards total offense for Montour. Just scan and grab you a couple of more halftime scores, and we'll pass those along. Here we go. Scores that we have at the moment. Cannon-McMillan 17, South Fayette 14. That's at the half. Washington 14, Union 6, also in intermission. California 14, Waynesburg 7 after 2 quarters. Avella looking for win number 3 to start the 2025 campaign. Eagles are up on Springdale 19-0 at the half. Bentworth 38-0 lead on Charleroi at intermission. It's Best Center 3, Manessa 0. That's at the half. Last word we had was Fort Cherry leading West Green 34-0 in the second quarter. And I know I saw one other score. Bell Vernon 7, Central Valley 3 in the second. Fraser 15, Carmichael's 8 in the second quarter. Carmichael's, I believe, has the longest active winning streak in the WPIL. I think they're at 4 games, maybe 5 games. But with nobody winning a state championship last year, that all those winning streak numbers get snapped off pretty quickly. Yep. Last we heard, Ringgold was leading York 12-0. Rams trying to go to 2-1 here in the early going. And I saw Peters Township score. Now I can't find it, but I will. Peters 21-0 on Mount Lebanon at the half. And we're having some video issues on that game, but the game audio and on air working on WJPA FM. Jason Tennant and Scott Moore calling the action there. I think I got all the scores that I had here. Yes, indeed. Thank you, John Sacco, for much of that. We're at the half. It's 20-14. Montour leading Trinity. Hillers will get the ball to start the second half. Let's check in with the commissioner of the President's Athletic Conference, Joe Onderko, for this week's PAC football report.
Welcome to the first PAC football report of the 2025 season, covering games from September 4th through 6th. I'm Joe Onderko. This week we will take a quick look back at the 2024 season in the President's Athletic Conference, while also previewing the opening fall football weekend. 3 PAC teams finished as tri-champions in 2024, Washington and Jefferson, Grove City, and Carnegie Mellon, with all 3 earning NCAA D3 playoff berths, marking the first ever 3-bid season in conference history. In addition, Westminster earned a berth representing the PAC in the inaugural Open Doors Bowl Series, defeating OAC rep Marietta 27-13 in the Extra Points Bowl in Canton, Ohio. For the first time since the 2022 season, PAC teams will each play 2 out-of-conference games in 2025. The season kicks off on Thursday night, when Westminster hosts OAC member Marietta in a rematch of last year's bowl game at Harold Burry Stadium in New Wilmington at 7 p.m. The Titans have won 4 of 5 all-time meetings against the Pioneers, with the only Marietta victory in the series being a 14-8 final in New Wilmington back in 1969. Veteran Titan head coach Scott Benzel notes that with a new head coach and staff, Marietta will provide a different look and new challenges from last season's meeting.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. You know, you got a new staff in there, and so we don't really have any understanding of, schematics, offense and defense, which, again, we just don't know the X's and O's behind it. But we're familiar with the young men at Marietta, and we know how tough they are, and we're going to have our hands full.
Also opening the season with a home night game is Teal, as the 2025 Tomcats debut on Friday night at Alumni Stadium with a 6 p.m. kickoff against Concordia University from Wisconsin. It's the first ever meeting on the gridiron between the two programs, as Concordia posted a 6-3 record as a member of the NACC in 2024. Fourth-year Tomcat head coach Sam Bauman talks about what led to the decision to open the season on Friday night under the lights in Greenville.
It was actually a lot to help them with travel. So, it gave them an opportunity not to kind of lose a work day on that Sunday where they're getting ready for their next opponent. So we were able to work with them. It was a great opportunity for us to get a really good week 1 opponent. And we're excited that, to play an out-of-region team.
Among a full slate of Saturday contests, new St. Vincent head coach Casey Goff makes his Bearcat coaching debut at home as SVC hosts Hilbert at Chuck Knoll Field in Latrobe at 1 p.m. Goff, most recently head coach at the College of New Jersey, returns to the PAC after having previously served a stint as co-defensive coordinator at W&J. As the Bearcats prepare to face Hilbert from the Liberty League for the first ever football matchup between the schools, Goff talked about his goals for the 2025 season at St. Vincent.
We had to kind of retrain a mindset here, and we're still not had to, we have to. We're still in that process. I think we took strides in the right direction last spring and then through camp. I've said this time and time again, I'm not necessarily, obviously we want to win football games, but I'm not necessarily going to gauge this team on wins and losses.
In other Week 1 PAC action, Hiram returns to the conference for the first time since 1989 and also opens its season on Thursday night, traveling to face Heidelberg from the OAC for a 7 p.m. kickoff. The rest of the action takes place Saturday afternoon, led by Washington and Jefferson hosting Utica from the Empire 8 at Cameron Stadium at 12 noon. Also kicking off at noon is Bethany, which hosts Sewanee, Tennessee from the SAA at Bison Stadium. Other PAC teams debuting at home facing foes from the NCAC include Waynesburg, hosting John Carroll at Wiley Stadium at 1 p.m., and Allegheny facing Denison at Frank Fuhrer Stadium in Meadville at 2 p.m. Opening on the road is Grove City, which travels to face 2023 D3 National Champion Cortland from the SUNYAC at 1 p.m. Case Western Reserve, which travels to New Jersey to face NJAC opponent Rowan at 1 p.m., and Geneva, which travels to Eastern PA to face MAC opponent Widener at 1 p.m. That's all for this Week 1 edition of the PAC Football Report. Remember to log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org all season long for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league information. You can also follow us on social media daily via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links, as always, are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Underko. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the stadium.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Any insurance agent can sell you a policy. At RTI Insurance Services, we're going to sell you what you need. As a family-owned independent agency, RTI Insurance Services will provide you with multiple solutions for your personal and business coverages. We're proud to support area athletes, families, and communities, and we'd love to help you too. RTI Insurance Services in South Point. Online at trustrti.com.
Welcome back to Thomas J. Burko Stadium here on the Montour School District campus. We're going to head down to the playing surface here momentarily and enjoy some of the halftime entertainment provided by the Montour Band here in just a moment. We are at the half. It's Montour 20, Trinity 14. You know that Peters Township leading Mount Lebanon 21-0. That's at the half. Ringgold 12-0 on York. Washai 14-6 on Union. California 14, Waynesburg 7 at the half. Fraser 15, Carmichael's 8 in the second. Fort Cherry is leading West Green 34-0 in the second. Halftime, Beth Center 3, Monessen 0. Bentworth 38, Charleroi 0 at the half. And Avella leading at Springdale 19-0 also at the half. Back down to the sidelines. Halftime entertainment provided by the Montour Marching Band. Great to have all of you along tonight. Quick peek ahead at what's coming up on our broadcast calendar. Already next week will be week 3, the 4th week of the high school football season. And I'm not going to get started on this week 0 stuff. 10 years we've misnumbered everything, but that's what it is for now. We'll see how long that lasts. Our crew will be heading to Waynesburg, where the Raiders host the Little Prexies in the Century Conference opener. Waynesburg a winner in that conference opener a year ago. Meanwhile, our other crew will be at Chartiers Houston at Buccaneer Field in Meadowlands, where the Bucks will host Fort Cherry, the 2-time defending WPIL 1A champions. It'll be our first look at the Rangers here in 2025. 2 weeks down the road, Mount Lebanon goes to Cannon McMillan, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the loser of that game does not make the 6A playoffs. You have to win that game. I don't see either of those two teams beating the 3 teams that will lead that section, Central Catholic, North Allegheny, and Seneca Valley. And that means, Cannon McMillan, Hempfield, Norwin, and Mount Lebanon are battling for one last spot, and that means you got to win. So the loser of that game will not be going to the playoffs. I'll just go out on that limb. Menneson's at Fort Cherry that night. We'll have that game for you as well. And then a Saturday special here on the WJPA Sports Network. Chartiers Houston at Burgettstown Blue Devils celebrating homecoming. And then in week 5, our plans are to be Trinity at Ringgold and Avella at Beth Center. And then we go week by week after that, the best possible games. By the time we get to September the 26th, end of the night, we will have seen 12 of the 14 Washington County teams on the gridiron here in the 2025 season. And then from that point on, we're going to bring you the best matchups available, the most important games for qualifying, staving off elimination, or clinching section championships. And we'll have all of that for you here on the WJPA Sports Network. Almost always audio and video available. I'm not sure what the issue is. I know Jason Tennett's scrambling to try to solve that. But if you have NFHS and want to see the Cannon McMillan or the Peters Township Mount Lebanon game, it is available on NFHS. Our YouTube channel feed is not working on that game. But we did hear from former Trinity Athletic Director Ricky Rich, tuned in and watching the YouTube feed tonight on our game here. So far, it's been better for Montour than for Trinity, but some of that self-inflicted. The Hillers turning the ball over twice late, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big-time opportunity for Trinity to take the lead. I mean, it's as simple as that. And the guy who they are looking to most, Jonah Williamson, made a pair of mistakes. He's a really, really good football player, but he's not perfect. He's going to make mistakes. So it really, comes down to if in the second half he can clean it up a little bit, do some of those special things that he's able to do. And then, other than that, other than the turnovers, Trinity has played pretty mistake-free football. One drive really where they were struggling with tackling, but other than that, it's been a clean football game really on both sides. And, I'm just really happy. This has been a really good game so far through one half, and I'm pretty confident that it will maintain that through the second.
Interesting situation. Just looking back, Trinity's ones didn't play in the second half last week. Their blowout win at McGuffey led 35-0 at intermission. And Lucero said that his didn't play well, and that his young guys played like young guys in the second half. And it was a point of emphasis that he wanted to address and make sure that wasn't the case here. They're going into the second half leading tonight, so we'll see how that works out for the Montour coaches wanting to get that done. Trinity's players playing in the second half. Remember, these two teams have a common opponent, and really at this point in the year to already have a common opponent that you've played is pretty unusual. But Moon. Trinity had Moon on the rocks, and the Tigers got a late touchdown pass and kicked an extra point that gave them the opening 14-13 win. The next week, Moon led Montour 21-13 at intermission and then scored 20 points in the second half, and Montour couldn't find the end zone at all to lead to a 28-point loss for the Spartans. So, and it sure seemed like from Lucero that those kids were reminded of that several times this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things, too. You know, you cannot look at football transitively. It does not work that way. You know, it works in addition, works in multiplication. It does not work in the sport of football. See it all the time. But, yeah, you know, Lucero, he's, I'm sure, all week been stressing to his team, you know, about this is a 48-minute game, not a 24-minute one, and I'm sure that they're going to come out hearing that at halftime as well.
A couple of score updates for you. Ringgold is at the half now with York. Ringgold leading there 27-0. And Monessen on the board against Best Center, now leading 6-3 in the third. That game at Monessen. Yeah, probably, if that 3-0 Best Center score held, it probably would not have been a comfortable night to be at the stadium in Monessen. You think?
Yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, whenever I saw that text pop up from my dad about the score, I was really surprised to see that. That's not a game I feel like that was probably on anybody's radar to be, you know, even close, I'd say. And it still is very much close. Monessen's obviously taking the lead, but, you know, the Hounds, they've been prone to that, I will say, in the last, you know, however many years. They've been prone to some letdowns against teams that, you know, you would say they are more talented than and are better than, flat out.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, Monessen goes to Fort Cherry. I mean, you don't look 2 weeks down the road at a looking ahead, and, you know, in the words of John Luckhart, trip over a dead body right in front of you. But you know, sometimes things happen, and, you know, the best teams struggle at times. And
yep.
You know,
and when you're a Monessen team too, that's been, you know, they've seen their names shoot up the rankings, you might look ahead.
Glass and Gardner back to receive the kick, though it is picked up short of the 25-yard line, and the Hillers get a nice return out to almost the 45, where they'll start 1st and 10.
Yeah, it was a really nice return from Mekhi Bowman.
And much like we saw early, you know, you can't just let that kick lay around and bounce around. You got a chance, pick it up and make something happen, and Bowman, in fact, did that out to the 45-yard line. About 22 on that run back. 1st and 10 Hillers, first possession of the second half. Williamson hands it off, and that play blown up in the backfield. There's that defensive front, that stalwart group that Lucero talked about. Bowman, the ball carrier, and he loses 2.
Yeah, there was just nowhere for Bowman to go. Immediate pressure into the backfield.
Second down and 12. Two backs now motion out of that. Williamson wants to put it up. Makes a one-guy miss, ran out of a tackle in the backfield, sets up a block, got back to the original line, and now going to turn that into a gain of a couple, but push to the boundary.
Yeah, Williamson was in some serious trouble in the pocket there. Decided to tuck it, ran into a swarm of Spartan defenders, and was able to get to the sideline and turn nothing into something there and get 4 yards.
So now 3rd down, we'll call it 8. Trips right, single receiver left, ball at the far hash mark, option pitch to the near side, looking for a kick out block, cutting it back as Gardner kept the play alive and got Got about 6, needed 8, and it will bring up 4th down at the Montour 47.
And it looked like Gardner put them in a position where they could go for this 4th down, and honestly, I am really, really surprised that Trinity's sending out the punt unit. Honestly, I don't agree with it. You're in Montour territory right now for a 4th and 1. Or 2, I should say.
Yeah, 4th down and 2 inside the 47-yard line. High snap. Nope, it's a short snap and fake and a hit at the 45-yard line. The question is, the ball, where are we going to put the ball down? This is right at the yard marker. And I think it's a 1st down.
Yeah, I think with where they spotted it, yep, they're giving it to them.
The fake punt, and the Hillers get the 1st down. Get a replay there, hopefully get a second look at that. Yep, just get the end there on the snap to Kostelnik, and Kostelnik gets the 1st down.
Yeah, and there you go. I personally would probably opt with keeping the offense on the field there, but it works out in the end.
First and 10, seam route, ball overthrown, and Gill looking for a flag, and finally one comes. Yeah, Gill got held up.
Yep.
He got behind the coverage, and you know, in high school, take the 15 yards. I mean, you save the 6 points, because if Gill's not held up there, I think that's a touchdown.
Yeah, I definitely agree there, Bob. It probably was the throw where it needed to be. I think that Gill getting slowed down is what led to the incompletion.
Yeah, in NFL, obviously the spot foul, but 15 yards in high school, the pass interference. We'll take the ball to the 30-yard line, give the Hillers their 2nd 1st down of the half, 2nd penalty of the game, and both against Montour. 1st and 10 at the 30. Tight end and a tight wing to the near side. Williamson rolls the other way and throws to the wideout. Pass is caught. It's Braden Berdar, and weaves inside the 20 down to about the 17, and a 1st down.
That play's been successful twice now today. Just a little designed rollout, timing route. Get Berdar coming out of the break, and well delivered by Williamson.
12-yard pickup and a 1st down. Running play left side. Gardner spins inside the 15 down to about the 13. A run good for 5.
Gardner up over 80 yards in the ball game now. 82 is what I have for him.
Right with you, 16 carries on the night for the 200-pound junior battering ram. Gardner gets the call again, slowed down at the line, but pushes the pile and going to get about 4. Got inside the 10-yard line, and that was leg strength by the battering ram.
Another nice run by Gardner. It looked like he was going to get 1, maybe 2, but he just kept those legs churning.
Toss play to the left. Gardner's got the 1st down, spun inside the 5, and gets close to the end zone. Touchdown.
Really nice play there. Another one where Gardner's just able to get yards after contact. Can't believe he stayed in there, but was able to. And Gardner has really played his tail off today.
Trinity has tied the game, and now Evan Slagle, out of the hold by Jake Schreier, can give the Hillers the lead back. Drive a little over 4 minutes. Good snap and hold, and Slagle, true to the effort, boots it home. Trinity 21, Montour 20. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Don't fall behind on your home improvement projects. Let First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County help you with the heavy lifting before winter. First Federal gives you all the tools you need with FHA Title I home improvement, home equity, construction, and owner-builder loans. With offices in Washington, Greene, and Fayette counties, your loan stays here. Apply in person or anytime online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 458729.
All right, I have my first Montour complaint. What are these little bugs? They're just like dive bombers.
And they are everywhere in here.
Trinity goes 55 yards in 9 plays. Owen Gardner caps the drive with a 9-yard touchdown run, ties the game, and Evan Slagle kicks the extra point to give the Hillers a lead. Kickoff to Archie Collins. Stops in the middle of the field, gets back to the hash marks, but is stopped short of the 30-yard line. You know, it's never a good thing when a kick returner stops.
Yeah, almost every time you have to stop your momentum. It's not going to go your way.
I'm telling you, these little bugs are crazy. Whew. Sorry, I know people at home listening on the radio aren't worried about the little bugs in the booth, but if they keep attacking my face, they're going to end up clear in my nose or in my mouth, and then they'll know what was going on.
Yeah.
Montour 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Collins motions out of a 2-back set, running play up the middle, and room for Elijah. Cut it to the near side, 50, 45, 40, and he'll step out of bounds to avoid a hit, but that play came up the middle, an immediate cut to the left, and a big run to start things off. 39 yards from scrimmage on 1st down.
Yeah, Elijah, just a big run. Well blocked, and he was able to get outside. And, you know, whenever you, as a ball carrier, you get outside, those big plays are available due to good blocking from the skill positions. And right there, it was a really good job sealing that edge.
11 carries for 91 yards now for the 5'11 senior. Running play inside the 25 and down to about the 22. It's Collins, and Collins is slow to get up, but now he'll get up. He doesn't want to go out, but I think he's going to go out. Yeah, the sideline saw him hobbled up there, and boy, what a nifty cut back by Collins, and then that hip drop tackle. That's what happened to his leg. Ball to the 22, 11 yards on that run.
That was a good seal by Habadell.
Running play going up the middle. Elijah with a carry to the 15 and 7-yard pickup. Elijah approaching the 100-yard mark. Stop and go, and this time Elijah can't get going again. And looks like Gardner was got a leg caught underneath, but he hops up to his feet, and he's going to be all right.
Yeah, Halajo had to stop right at the line of scrimmage, and there was really nothing there for him.
And you see what happened to Gardner.
Yep.
He had his leg extended out in front of him, heel in the turf, and then player came down on top of it. He was fortunate, was able to sit flat down and keep that from being an injury. Now 3rd down from the 15, pitch play. Elijah trying to go wide, and he's cleaned up and shoved to the boundary. Kostelnik stops it from turning into a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a nice tackle to not even give Elijah a chance. Kostelnik and Gardner over there, and Kostelnik just emphatic end of that play.
So now it's Montour's 4th down and 2 situation. This at the Trinity 14-yard line. Bennett, Collins, Halajo. Collins motions out of there. Bennett's going to keep it himself, has the first down, bounced off a hit at the 10, and takes it down to about the 7-yard line.
That's the first designed run all game for Bennett, and that's really good time to dial it up on 4th and short. They haven't had to account for him all game, and there Bennett gets lost kind of in the mix.
7-yard run, 1st and goal there. Halajo gets inside the 5 and carrying tacklers with him down to about the 1-yard line. And now over 100 yards rushing for Caden Halajo. Spartans come right to the line of scrimmage, that familiar formation. Collins motions out of there. And now the keeper for Bennett, touchdown, and Montour answers again.
Yeah, and mentioned the momentum. Just when you think Trinity might take it back, Montour with a really nice drive, all on the ground, all the damage done by 3 guys, Halajo, Collins, and Bennett. Bennett finishes it off.
Trinity led for all of 2 minutes and 46 seconds here in the second half. 8 plays, 72 yards, all on the ground, including a 4th down and 2 conversion. And then Bennett with the 1-yard touchdown run to seal it. Now going to go for 2 and chase points here. Bennett calls for the snap. The left-hander rolls to his left, throws the ball into the end zone. It's good for the 2-point conversion. Ball caught by Dom Barron. Well, Montour gets the deuce. Spartans 28, Trinity 21, 5:12 to play in the third. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner-elect Janice, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
Hi, this is Mac Chambers of Chambers Insurance Agency. For over 70 years, we've been here for you, your family, and your business. At a time in which premiums continue to rise and policy coverage is more confusing and limited than ever before, we're proud to be your trusted guides. No gimmicks or surprises, just real protection at the best possible price. Personal, business, or bonds, will keep it simple and straightforward, just as we've always done. Chambers Insurance, helping you navigate today's insurance world. Learn more at chambersinsurance.com.
5:12 to play in the third. You know, big picture, this is really a big ball game because these two could end up battling for a wild card spot. They could be battling for seeding, who gets to play first round at home. I mean, there's a lot on the line in this game.
Yeah, and, you know, not to mention that it just, you know, get a win early in the season. That can set the tone for how your season goes, you know, especially as you get closer, I guess, to league play.
Well, one of the things, I mean, let's look at Trinity's schedule. They play Peters Township next week. You know, if you don't win this game, then you're very likely 1-3.
Yeah.
And then you host Bethel Park.
Similar to, and you know, it puts Trinity in a position similar to how they were last year with a rough start and clawing back to have to get into the mix.
Down a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 30. Hillers after the glass kickoff return. Handoff going left side and going forward for only a yard, maybe 2 on that running play.
Yeah, it was glass, and it looks like he maybe had his little cramp.
Yeah, he's still down right at the spot of the tackle. Well, we saw a play earlier where the Trinity team did that, the hip drop tackle, and man, oh day, that's just such a dangerous play. And
yep.
NFL is doing what it can to outlaw it, though it still happens. But You know, and it's hard to officiate as well. You know, I mean, my job is to tackle the guy. I get a hold and go for a ride, and it looks like a hip drop tackle. That's, you know, you know, what do you want me to do? Let the guy go?
And it's hard too. You know, these are, I guess, are younger guys who have more time to learn it. But you know, that's how it's been taught to some of these people, how to, you know, in the open field, and it's how you safely bring a guy down. Well, not safely in the injury sense, but I mean, it puts you in a tough spot where, you know, you're thinking about how I have to tackle this guy instead of just going and tackling them.
A couple of score updates for you. Fort Cherry now at the half get a 55-8 lead on West Green. Fraser is added a field goal, leading Carmichael's 18-8, Mapletown 22, Chartiers Houston 7. 49-0 Bentworth up on Charleroi. And Monessen 6, Beth Center 3, end of 3. Second down and 9, Glass off with leg cramp. Running play going up the middle. It's Gardner again. Gardner out to the 35 before being shoved backwards.
So they move that back a yard.
Indeed they do. So 3 yards for Gardner. Michael Lucas on the tackle. That's an interesting situation. Dad is the superintendent of the Trinity School District, but living here in the Montour. Williamson rolls, keeps rolling, and now fires to the sideline. Too tall and incomplete. And Trinity will face 4th down and long.
Yeah, not the play you were looking for on 3rd and long. Williamson initially had a clean pocket, but the design rollout kind of took him into a mess of bodies. He was never able to get back into a good position.
Punt formation for David Gill. Do not anticipate a fake here. Low line drive kick, chased down by Xander Stern, spun around at the 25, didn't get tackled, and then the Hillers miss a couple of more tackles. Stern into Trinity territory, should have been tackled at the 25, and is going to give Montour the ball at the Trinity 45-yard line.
Now he goes down as he goes to the sideline, but man, just another huge play by Xander Stern in this game. Had the big 70-yard touchdown earlier in the first half. And right there, I mean, he had no business getting anything on that punt return, and he's able to flip fields.
38-yard punt, 27-yard return. And Stern will look a little hobbled up. First and 10, Montour at the 45-yard line. Running play. Halajo trying to get somewhere, and he's got an O lineman trying to hold on to him. Keyshawn White trying to pull him forward. That's not legal, actually. You can push, but you can't pull a guy. And watch here. We'll see White like, okay, maybe it was lateral.
That's usually something, too. You know, you don't see that get called even when it does happen.
3:05 to play, third quarter. And this time play jammed up in the backfield. Halajo won't get out of it this time. Guy that wouldn't quit on the tackle for Trinity. And that is Tegan Barr that finally cleaned that up. You'll see he got enough hit high, and then looked like Halajo looking for a face mask call, but there was none to be found. A loss of 5 on that run. So 3rd down and 14 now for the Spartans. Once Montour got the game even, anytime Trinity did something, Montour responded on the next possession. Bennett flushed out, trying to keep the play alive, dumped the ball off. It's Barron. Barron made a man miss at the 45, bounces off contact. this is, in many ways, this is what you see on Sundays, guys just hitting a player, not tackling a player, and Montour turns a 3rd and 14 into a first down.
Yeah, and right there, too, there's a free rusher on the backside. Javis Pugh for Trinity was coming, and Bennett was not aware that he was there. It didn't matter, though. Bennett was able to extend the play, get a little dump off, and you just have to be able to tackle.
Running play going up the middle. This time it's Dylan Rogers. 20 yards on 3rd and 14, and now Rogers ends up down inside the 15-yard line.
Another good throw from Bennett right down the middle.
And the Spartans to the line of scrimmage from the 12 after that 17-yard pickup. Running play up the middle and almost untouched. Halajo hit hard at the goal line, but into the end zone. And Montour's up by 2 scores.
Yep, that was easy. Easy as it gets right there. Halajo able to read one block and easy touchdown.
Now that 12-yard TD run. Extra point attempt coming. Luke Medvitz to try to boot it home. It's a good snap, good hold, good pressure. And the kick is inside the right upright. 1:27 to go, 3rd quarter. It's now Montour 35, Trinity 21. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
You deserve a bank that brings fresh ideas to your business. One that can see you're a cut above and knows you like you know your customers. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on preparing personalized solutions, ones that cater to the unique needs of your business. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Kickoff is covered by the Hillers at about the 25-yard line. Just get a note that from Jason Tennant that the game at Peters Township has been called. It is pouring down rain at Confluence Financial Partners Field and it is 35-0 a final Peters Township. Indians will take on the Hillers next week. Ball down at the 23. Trinity needs an answer.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, they're in a bad spot right now, and they have to be able to go get something.
1st and 10. Williamson on the keeper, stiff arm to get out of the backfield. Now he's all alone out on the edge, going to turn it into a gain of a couple of yards.
And, you know, it wasn't long ago in this game that Trinity had the lead. But, I mean, just like that, it's turned into a 2-score deficit.
Yeah, Trinity trailed 20-14 at the half, scored on their opening possession, kicked the extra point to lead 21-20, and Montour in about 5 minutes and 1 second and 13 plays have scored 2 touchdowns, gotten a 2 and an extra point kick. Williamson, 2nd down and 5. Trying to weave his way out of the backfield. Will get half a yard, maybe a yard, but no receivers open. And taken down. In on the tackle was Jacob Halbadell.
Coverage here has been very strong for Montour. It's forced Williamson to have to tuck and run. I'm sure more times than this Trinity staff would have liked.
You know, Williamson is 7 of 13 in the game for just 49 yards, a couple of interceptions, 1 for 2 in the second half. And a time stoppage as the third quarter has come to an end. Montour 35, Trinity 21 after 3. Fourth quarter on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Any insurance agent can sell you a policy. At RTI Insurance Services, we're going to sell you what you need. As a family-owned independent agency, RTI Insurance Services will provide you with multiple solutions for your personal and business coverages. We're proud to support area athletes, families, and communities, and we'd love to help you too. RTI Insurance Services in South Point. Online at trustrti.com.
Trinity with 186 yards on the ground, 235 total. Montour 198 rushing and 130 more passing on just 5 completions, 5 of 10 for 130 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Trinity facing 3rd down and 4. Williamson swinging out of the backfield, stop and go move up over the 30, 32, 35, break a tackle, sideline finally pushed out of bounds, out across the 40-yard line.
Got that one over to Berdar.
Glass,
excuse me, and Glass was able to do the work after that. Really nice job breaking some tackles.
Going to get 16 yards on the swing pass to Glass. His 3rd catch. 1st and 10, little low snap, handoff straight ahead. The Powell moves about 4 yards. And that running play by Bowman. Gain of 4. Hillers staying right at the line of scrimmage. Just the 2nd carry of the night for Makai Bowman. 185-pound senior. 2nd down and 6. Gardner gets the call this time, gets a yard. Tried to keep the pile moving. Going to get credit for 2 into Montour territory, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Trinity down 2 scores, certainly barring a loss here in 4-down territory.
Yeah, down 2 scores, you pretty much from anywhere on the field, you're going for it.
That carry puts Owen Gardner, the 200-pound junior, right at 100 rushing yards. 3rd and 4. The Montour 49-yard line. Chandler in 4 wides to the right. Williamson looks to throw back down the far sideline, and a pass overthrown and incomplete. Tried to throw the ball for Braden Berdar, I believe. Yeah, it was Berdar.
Yeah, it was Berdar, and I thought he had Priest one-on-one down the middle. I honestly probably would have taken that shot if I was Williamson, but does not matter here.
4th and 4 now. Williamson 8 of 15 passing. And the Hillers offense stays there. The 2 slots reset from left to right. Hard bark, trying to get a man to come out of across the neutral zone, and then Trinity will use a timeout. We'll keep it here. First time out of the second half. Hillers look to use that hard count to get the movement into the neutral zone, which in high school is an automatic stoppage. Timeout number 1 for Trinity comes with 10:32 to play, down 2 scores. Fourth quarter, Wash High 35, Union 6. Fourth quarter, Monessen 20, Best Center 3. Entering the fourth quarter, Avella 35, Springdale nothing. Well, will the Hillers keep the offense out, down 2 scores?
They absolutely should, I will say, in my opinion.
What's your best 5-yard play, right?
Yep. It's going to, I mean, I would assume it's going to be something where you have Williamson drop back. Maybe you have him read one receiver, one route, and have him tuck it and run after that. And
4 wides, 2 each way, single back with Williamson. 4-man front for Montour. That's all that come. Pass to the right sideline is caught by Kostelnik. Good for a first down. Hiller's second 4th down conversion after intermission. Pass play good for 10 yards and a new set of downs at the 39.
And another just good delivery.
Clock is turning. The ruling forward progress stopped inbounds. Trips left, single receiver right. Williamson hands it off. Gardner with a stiff arm, trying to get out of the backfield, and he'll end up with a gain of about 2 on the play. And Berdar may have gotten away with a hold there just that enabled Gardner to even get that.
Yeah, looked like it was going to be some bad news there for Gardner, as Dylan Rogers was in hot pursuit. He was able to avoid him enough to get something out of that play.
2nd down and 8 at the Montour 37. Hiller scored quickly a week ago against McGuffey and led 35-0 at the break, but need to score quickly here. Good job by Montour. Quarterback draw. Williamson pass to the sideline. It's high, but it's caught. Berdar tackled out of bounds. And it'll be first down for the Hillers at the 20-yard line.
Another good delivery, and right there Williamson was on the run. Had to evade pressure. Was able to find Berdar.
He was pretty close to being across the line of scrimmage
yeah,
as well.
I was a little worried about that when he threw that, but it looked like he still had about a yard to go before crossing.
I think that everything has to be across.
Yep.
You know, if you have anything still back, you're okay. 1st and 10 at the 20. Gardner beside Williamson. Gardner flares out. Pressure. Williamson rolls right. Throws for the end zone. Has a man behind the coverage and a ball thrown to the sideline. Kostelnik didn't really have a chance to make the catch inbounds. Dom Barron with the coverage, and he cut to the sideline and made sure the ball was not going to be caught.
I'll tell you what, that's a floater on the run. Another dangerous throw. There was really no spot that Williamson could put that ball where it wouldn't have been in danger, other than it going out of bounds, and you don't give your guy a chance to make the play.
Well, you had Berdar behind Barron. If he zips that instead of so much air, if he zips it, Berdar can keep going deep in the end zone. Maybe something there, but that's easy to see up here. 9:04 to play in the 4th. Montour 35, Trinity 21. Hiller 2nd and 10, the Montour 20. Fake the toss. Williamson keeps trying to come to the edge. Stiff arm inside the 15 and down at about the 13-yard line. Haljo getting stiff-armed off the would-be tackle.
He got rolled over right there by the arm of Jonah Williamson. Some fans from Montour wanting a flag, saying Williamson grabbed the mask. He didn't. I mean, that's clean, open palm, and just put his man on the ground.
Spotted down at the 14-yard line, so got 6. 3rd down and 4 there. Lightning flashing around. Cloud cover pretty solid here, and so you just see areas of the sky light up. Didn't actually see the lightning bolt. 3rd and 4, pass play, complete inside the 10. And good job there by Avari Chandler to cover up the ball and get the first down.
Yep, Chandler found a soft spot, settled in there. Williamson delivered a clean ball.
7-yard completion and a new set of downs. Now 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. 7:55. The clock continues to turn, becoming a Montour ally. 1st and goal at the Montour 7. Trips left. Williamson, quarterback draw, right up the gut, touchdown.
3rd rushing touchdown of the game for Williamson. And another one that just a good read on the read option. A little inverted veer type and runs untouched up the middle.
7:37 to play in the 4th. Evan Slagle to attempt the PAT. Schreier to hold. Snap bounces back. Schreier's going to pick it up, and he is swallowed under. Not a good snap. That's not really Schreier's fault, and Slagle never had a chance.
Yep.
Montour 35, Trinity 27, 7:37 to play in the ball game. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Working overtime on your business needs? With First Federal of Greene County's Commercial Lending Department, your next step is closer than you think. From real estate secured purchases to refinancing, your loan starts and stays here. And now First Federal is offering business basic checking, business statement savings, and merchant services. First Federal will help you take care of business. For more information, visit online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a hard game to figure out. A week ago, Mapletown scored a late touchdown, went for 2, and beat Fraser. Tonight, Fraser's leading Carmichael's 31-8. Hard game to figure out.
Any given Friday.
Kickoff bounds down the middle of the field. It'll take a big hop at about the 18-yard line, and a return up the near side between the numbers and the hashes out across the 30-yard line. Good return there. Chandler in on the stop on the return by Collins. Well, Montour wants to do a couple of things. They want to take time off the clock or score, and it probably to Lucero doesn't matter which one of the two.
Yep. One or the other here. I mean, I will say probably with that failed extra point, it puts you in a safer position where, you know, one drive can't put you behind in this game. I think you can play it a little safer and try to run this clock down a little bit.
Another game called early. West Allegheny 65, McGuffey 7. Called in the 3rd because of rain. Quarterback keeper Bennett with a beautiful fake to Holijo, and then carries himself out for about 9 yards.
And he gave himself up there too. It was smart.
9-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 1.
Bennett, just his 5th charged run, and one of those was a kneel down. Couple of big carries in this second half. 2nd down and 1 at the 42. Spartans in no hurry. Bennett standing with his hands on his hips, staring at the play clock to the right of the scoreboard. Now it's under 8 seconds. Motions Collins out. Hand the ball off. Holijo across midfield, makes a nifty move, cuts inside, takes it to the far sideline. Tried to run away from Glass. Realized if he kept going, he was going to get shoved out of bounds and slides down inbounds.
Yep, another smart one there for these Spartans as Holijo was bursting the big run but didn't get too caught up in the moment, went down in play. Let that clock keep running.
139 yards rushing on 19 carries for Caden Halajo. Now, you cannot have missed that lightning bolt. We saw that one, not just the sky illuminating, but bright flash of lightning. It is 1st and 10 at the Trinity 32. Bennett on the keeper, gets inside the 30. Going to pick up about 3.
Yeah, now, especially deep into Trinity territory, Montour can elect to not have to worry about the big play. You just have to worry about going little by little.
Ringgold leading York 40-0. That's at the end of 3 quarters. Monessen 20, Best Center 3. They're in a lightning delay with 9.5 minutes remaining. 2nd down and 7 at the 29. Bennett took a hit, made the pitch back. Collins stays on his feet, but that just gets him hit a couple of more times and ends up losing yardage.
Yeah, loss of 1 right there for Collins. And he could have saved himself a little bit of pain if he would have just went down after the first pair of defenders got there.
Collins loses 2. Clock now under 5 minutes remaining in the game. 4:45 and counting. Play clock at 15, and Bennett just standing there waiting for somebody to take his picture. Now calls for the snap. Hands it off. It's Halajo again. Couple of nifty moves and inside the 15. Finally taken down. It's 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Again, as we have seen all night long, Trinity scores. Montour has an answer almost immediately.
And right there, that one was just sealed up for Halajo to burst through a big hole. And he was able to get the little bit extra just from, once again, poor tackling from the Hillers.
18-yard run and a 1st down. Clock down 4 minutes before the ball will be snapped here. Halajo takes the hand off, got a hand on the hip of the offensive lineman out in front, and then Halajo run to the boundary, ruled down inbounds at the 10. John tells us that the Canumac South Fayette game has been called. Canon-McMillan led 17-14 when that happened, but not a definite statement that that is a final score. 21 carries for Caden Halajo tonight, 160 yards rushing. And we're down to 3:20 with the clock turning. Montour leading 35-27. Trinity got to within 8. Problem with the extra point. They couldn't convert that. And then Montour has gone from their own 33, moved the ball 57 yards on 6 plays. And now the Spartans use a timeout. 3:08 to play, 4th quarter. Montour 35, Trinity 27. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday Night Lights brings our communities together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm County Commissioner Nick Sherman, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential hotline today at 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a strong future for Washington County. 724-228-1234.
I'm Evan Chambers of Chambers Insurance Agency. You can't turn on the TV or scroll through social media without being bombarded by insurance commercials. They're everywhere, even on the radio. Low rates, big savings. We'll insure your pet iguana. Okay, maybe not the iguana. Sadly, many times you're not saving money, you're just getting your coverage slashed. By the time there's a claim, it's too late to see you've been duped. At Chambers Insurance, our goal is to improve your coverage and get you savings. We're local, family owned, and we'll work with you to find the right coverage. Chambers Insurance since 1953.
2nd and 7, Montour at the Trinity 10-yard line. Bennett hands off to Halajo. Another nice bounce outside. This time Avari Chandler stays with him, rides him to the boundary, but Trinity will now use a timeout. Hiller's second. 3:02 to play here in the fourth. They got to spot the.
I don't think there was a timeout called.
Yeah,
Trinity wouldn't have had to use one, at least.
I mean, they just clearly indicated that.
Yeah, they did indicate it.
And the play stopped at the 8-yard line, so Halajo out of bounds at after a 2-yard gain. But they clearly indicated, the officials clearly indicated a Trinity timeout. And Trinity now showing on the board with one left, but running play to the left side, and Trinity will use its final timeout now. Yeah, they did call it at 3:02, and not even really to huddle up, just to stop the clock. And this time I think they're going to huddle up with 2:55 to play. I'm sorry, I missed the ball carrier on that last play.
Joe.
All right, very good. And he's down to the 6-yard line, so it's at 4th down and 3 for the Spartans.
Yeah, one way or another here, this is your ball game for Trinity. You know, if you don't get the stop right here, whether it's a touchdown or not, this game's all but over at that point.
If you're Montour up by 8, do you try a field goal here? Or you say, here you go?
Honestly, if you're confident in your unit, that's definitely an option, and it really all depends on, you know,
well,
are you confident?
I don't see Luke Medvitz coming out. And, you know, I guess my confidence would be higher in my defense.
Yeah,
with an 8-point lead, worst case scenario.
Those special teams plays too, you know, weird stuff can happen.
4th down and 3 at the 6. Bennett fakes to Halajo. Now will pass the ball, and it is not caught by Collins, so the ball will go over on downs. 2:49 to play. That pass, a couple of nice fakes there, and maybe just a little too much on it, or Collins, he may have peeked up, here, sensing Avari Chandler coming.
I honestly think that was just a flat-out drop.
But Trinity will take over at its own 6-yard line with 2:49 to play and down 8. Well, when you think back to that late first half, the back-to-back interceptions thrown when, you know, one was, you know, from a first down play at midfield, and one was thrown into the end zone. Running play to the right, up over the 10, 15, now breaking out of tackles up over the 20 to the 27-yard line. Gardner just keeps the legs churning.
Man, it looked like for a second maybe Gardner was going to be able to break that and go all the way.
They got 21 yards on that carry from the 6 to the 27. 123 yards on 22 carries. 1st and 10 Hillers. Running play going up the middle, and this time going almost nowhere. Gain of just a yard. Trinity cannot stop the clock. Rogers on the tackle. 2:05 left. Low snap. Williamson picks it up. Steps, dumps the ball off. Pass is caught. 35-40. 45. Got to get out of bounds. Going to give up a little yardage and move the sticks. Stop the clock. Catch made by Glass.
That's huge to get a big passing chunk and get out of bounds to stop that clock.
21 yards on this play. So 2 different 21-yard plays on this possession. 4th catch for Glass, 61 receiving yards. Trinity is at the 49-yard line. Just under 2 minutes left in the ballgame. Again, Trinity cannot stop the clock with a timeout. They have none left. 8-point Montour lead. 1st and 10. Hillers at their own 45. Shotgun formation all night. Williamson handles a low snap. He'll run with it himself. Got just across midfield. Short gain on the play.
Yeah, I think Williams actually had the toss right there and just decided to go against it. Gardner kind of gives him a shrug of confusion as to why he didn't get that ball, but they still have to move quick.
Back at the line quickly, 1:35 to play. 2nd down and 8 at the 49 of Montour. Pass play to the right. Ball is caught. Out of bounds goes Sam Agala inside the 40. That's a first down.
Kind of a speed out type of route, and just once again, that's Williamson's favorite type of ball to throw. Just easy pitch and catch.
Sam Agala's 2nd catch of the night. This one good for 11 yards and a first down at the 38. Trips left, single receiver right, low snap. Gardner picks up the rusher. Dump off pass is incomplete. Just a little too far out in front of Kostelnik. Got hands on it but could not pull it in. Hillers looked to be in somewhat of a hurry on that play, but they had the out of bounds with the clock stopped.
There's no rush there.
Yeah, there was no rush there. There's no rush here. Clock is stopped. You need 38 yards before you give up 81 seconds. And now Montour is going to take a timeout. That is the 2nd Montour timeout. Yeah, just I don't understand that rush to the line of scrimmage on the pass play. The other thing is, and we've said this several times tonight, but 2 times at least on this possession, Williamson has had to handle a snap on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, we saw it already, as you said, and I mean that's a play where I just mentioned how Williamson's favorite throw is seemingly that quick out to the outside edge. That completely messes up the timing of a play like that if Williamson has to go down and slow his process because of a bad snap.
Another weather delay. This one at Waynesburg. California 20, Waynesburg 7. Montour has 1 timeout left. Trinity doesn't have any remaining. Second down and 10 at the 38-yard line. And now movement. The defense stepped hard to the line of scrimmage, and apparently somebody on the Trinity line moved. That's the first penalty tonight on Trinity.
Yep, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. As 2nd and 15 is very different from 2nd and 10 in a situation like this. Now you're kind of forced to have to push the envelope a little bit and throw it further downfield than maybe didn't need to prior.
Yeah, 1:21 to play. 2nd down and 15. Chandler motions to balance the set. 2 receivers wide each way. Williamson, long ball up the near side into traffic and out of bounds. Braden Berdar, the intended receiver, and that ball didn't have a chance. Carried him out of bounds 4 or 5 yards.
Pretty simple route combinations. You know, you get a little switch on the far side of the field, and Williamson wasn't looking at it at all. It didn't matter. It was well covered, and even on the near side, everything was pretty sewn up.
1:14 remaining in the game. 8-point Montour lead. Trinity 3rd down and 15 at the Montour 43. Chartiers Houston has rallied back to within 28-21 with Mapletown. 10 minutes left there. Low snap again. Williamson pulls it away from Gardner, keeps it himself, gets 5, but it will bring up 4th down.
They keep it on the ground there, and that clock's ticking.
Well, now
here's the moment of truth.
Well,
I guess they didn't charge the timeout that they signaled.
Yeah. I have 3 signaled timeouts against Trinity. 10:32, 3:02, 2:55, and now they get one here at 1:02. No, the 3:02 one must have simply, despite the indication from the linesman that it was just an out-of-bounds play. No, Trinity now officially, David Dittler indicates, with pumping the fist, The Hillers are indeed out of timeouts, and they face 4th down and 9 at the Montour 37-yard line. 106 yards on 15 carries for Jonah Williamson.
Well, if you have something in the playbook here that you're confident in, maybe a little trickery or something, I don't know, you better bring it out now.
4th down and 9. Gardner motions to an empty backfield. Pressure on the blitz. Williamson scrambles to keep the play alive. Throws the ball downfield into traffic. And the ball is incomplete inside the 5-yard line.
Immediate pressure from the interior right there. Just a free rusher basically gets in the middle. It was Jacob Habedel, and it forced Williamson to have to flush out and takes away half the play.
Kostelnik almost made a spectacular catch.
It was great body control to even have a chance of getting back to that ball.
52 seconds to play. The Spartans can kneel it down. And barring a bad center quarterback exchange or a butt fumble, Montour is going to win. And they did it because they were able to scramble and answer Trinity every single time. Bennett kneels down once. He'll have to do it one more time. And he can do it at any time now that the game clock is under 40 seconds. And the Spartans come to the line. Bennett up under center, takes the snap and kneels it down. And Montour improves to 2-1 on the year. The Hillers drop to 1-2, heading home to host Peters Township and Bethel Park. We'll get your recap when we come back here on the WJPA Sports Network. Final score, Montour 35, Trinity 27.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
You deserve a bank that lifts up your business, that shares your spirits, and your taste for success. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on crafting solutions that are as one-of-a-kind as your business is. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Join the team at Schweinebrotten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebrotten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebrotten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Any insurance agent can sell you a policy. At RTI Insurance Services, we're going to sell you what you need. As a family-owned independent agency, RTI Insurance Services will provide you with multiple solutions for your personal and business coverages. We're proud to support area athletes, families, and communities, and we'd love to help you too. RTI Insurance Services in South Point. Online at trustrti.com.
Montour Spartans celebrating the win here at home tonight. The transitive properties do not apply. Trinity lost by 1 to Moon. Moon blew out Montour, and Montour beat Trinity tonight. Total offense numbers end up pretty even, but remember, Trinity turned the ball over twice in the first half, and then on their final possession, chewed up all kind of yardage, went from their own 6 to the Montour 37. So what's that, 57 yards?
Yep.
But got nothing to show for it. So, you turn the ball over there on downs. To recap the scoring for you, Trinity's opening possession, Hillers went 49 yards in 5 plays. Jonah Williamson with a 20-yard scamper for the touchdown. Evan Slagle's extra point gave the Hillers a 7-0 lead, a lead that would last for about 7.5 minutes, the longest Trinity would be in front all night long. But Montour's third possession, they drove 73 yards in 9 plays. Brandon Bennett to Dom Barron, 12-yard bullet pass for the score. The extra point kick by Luke Medvitz tied the game at 7-all, just under a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Hillers 3 plays and a punt, and Montour went 60 yards in 5 plays. Chunk yardage on the last 3 plays. They go from 3rd and 10, they get 11, then 14, and then 35-yard Archie Collins TD run. Medved's extra point gave Montour a 14-7 lead. Hillers had an answer for that score, went 80 yards, took 6 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock, 17 plays, 5 third down conversions. The drive capped by Jonah Williamson's second touchdown run of the night. Slagle's extra point tied the game at 14-all. And don't you know, Montour on the first play, 70-yard pass play, Bennett to Xander Stern, and the extra point play was really all jammed up on alignment issues for Montour, and the score stood at 20-14. Trinity would turn it over on interceptions on each of its next 2 possessions, had a 1st and 10 in the midfield area and threw a deep interception, then forced Montour to punt, got the ball back with 35 seconds to play. 41-yard run on the first down, put the ball to the 19, but on 2nd and 7, another interception thrown, this one in the end zone, and the half would end with Montour leading 20-14. Hillers took the second half kickoff, went 55 yards in 8 plays. The drive capped by Owen Gardner's 9-yard touchdown run. That tied the game at 20-all. Evan Slagle kicked the extra point that gave Trinity its last lead of the night at 21-20. It lasted less than 3 minutes. Montour, an impressive all-on-the-ground 8-play, 72-yard drive. Brandon Bennett finishes it with a 1-yard run, and then he threw to Dom Barron for the 2-point conversion that gave the Spartans a 7-point lead. Trinity 3 and out, and Montour took over after a 27-yard Stern punt return at the Trinity 45. 5 plays later, Caden Halajo scored from 12 yards out that gave Montour a 2-touchdown lead. Medved's extra point made it a 14-point margin. Trinity scored 77-yard drive in 13 plays, Williamson's 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. Bad snap, though, on the extra point left the Hillers down by 8 with 7:37 to play. Montour chewed up about 5 minutes of that remaining time, picked up a couple of first downs, but gave the ball up on downs, and Trinity had one last gasp from their own 6-yard line, 21-yard run for Gardner. Williamson to Glass, a 21-yard pass play, got a first down at midfield, and then Williamson to Samagala, an 11-yard completion, got a first down at the 38-yard line. An incomplete pass, a false start, and then Williamson's 6-yard run left the Hillers facing 4th down and about 9 at the 37. Hillers used their final timeout. They got immediate pressure from the snap. Too much pressure. Williamson rolled to his right, threw a jump pass downfield, nearly an unbelievable catch by Chase Kostelnik, but couldn't pull it in. The Spartans hang on and win the game by a 35-27 count. Total offense, I have Trinity 237 on the ground, 131 passing, 368 total. That 237 led by Gardner's 23 carries for 124 and Williamson 15 for 106. Gardner 1 touchdown, Williamson the other 3 for Trinity. For Montour, 259 rush, 130 pass, 389 total, 23 carries for Caden Halajo for 164 yards and a touchdown. Archie Collins, 6 for 76 and a score. And Brandon Bennett with a couple of touchdown passes. I have unofficially 5 of 11 for 130 passing. And 2 touchdowns. Also ran for a touchdown, part of his 6-carry effort tonight. Time to recognize our player of the game, brought to you by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Leading rusher, scored a touchdown, and was just, at times, he would not be stopped. I don't want to say he was unstoppable, but he wouldn't be stopped. And that is our player of the game, Caden Halajo, 23 carries, 164 yards, and 112 of that after intermission when the Hillers had taken the lead and threatened to take control of the game back. And Halajo said, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a lot of tough yards tonight. You know, when I think about the performance Halajo just had, it was a lot of effort. I mean, he would not go down at times, as you said. He would keep on his feet. He sometimes he would be dragged to the ground, and he still wouldn't go all the way down. He'd still fight and still gain yards. And, I mean, he was a big reason why Montour won this game tonight.
Spartans improved to 2-1 under Lou Cerro, and next week we'll travel to Knock before coming back here to host Mars to close out non-conference play. Last Friday night of the month, Montour will be home with Blackhawk to open play in the Parkway Conference. For Trinity, Hillers dropped to 1-2 under Dan Knaus and will be home with 5A number 1 team Peters Township, then host Bethel Park in a non-conference game before September 26th going to Ringgold to take on the Rams and open Big 6 action, a game we'll have for you here on WJPA. Tonight's game here on the WJPA Sports Network has been brought to you in part by RTI Insurance Services. Proud to support area athletes, families, and communities. Log on trustrti.com. By Schweinebrauten Bus Lines, the shiniest school buses in town, and they're looking for drivers like you. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. By the Chambers Insurance Agency, your third-generation independent insurance agency in downtown Washington, and online at chambersinsurance.com. By Washington County Human Services, take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, people you know, people you can trust. And by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. Our pro football coverage opens tomorrow morning here on WJPA AM. We bring you NFL Preview, NFL Insider, and NFL Fantasy Forecast starting tomorrow morning at 7. Then the 2025 W&J College football season opens. The Presidents take on Utica in their first ever meeting. Presidents football preview starts at 11:30. Kickoff at Cameron Stadium set for just after 12 noon here on WJPA AM. Steelers visit the New York Jets. Airtime is 12 noon. Then it's Sunday Night Football on WJPA AM. Bills host the Ravens beginning at 7:30. Our high school football coverage continues next Friday night as our crew heads to Waynesburg. The Raiders host Wash High, opening Century Conference play. Our other crew heads out to get a first look at Fort Cherry and Chartiers Houston as they begin Black Hills Conference play at Buccaneer Stadium in Meadowlands. Thanks to head coaches Dan Knaus and Lucero and to the entire crew here at Montour. From our partner Jack Sacco, floor directors Nate Rigotti and Scott Donnelly, Joey Cipoletti and Cam Pritz on camera, Mark Edwards producing in our downtown Washington studios, I'm Bob Gregg. Thank you so much for being with us. From Thomas Burko Memorial Stadium, your final score, Montour 35, Trinity 27. This has been a presentation for the WJPA Sports Network.